southpaw, bam! That right hand lands right over the top of a lazy jab from...
I want to thank me.
Hey.
To all the young people out there.
I'm here because of you.
How do I get rich?
You're going to suffer the difficulty of being invisible.
400 trillion to
have this many and nobody.
But it's more important to be nice.
No, you should be capable of it.
Until I started winning.
Cause on a mission, your worst enemy is idle time.
All right, we're back again. Another episode of Idle Time Podcast. Today we got our co-host, Ocho Steven Peterson, the best counter of a counter in the history of UFC. And then the guest of honor today is a man, the myth, the legend, future Hall of Famer, fan favorite. I mean, what else can you say about him? We got Uriah fucking Hall in the house. Appreciate you coming out.
Ocho, big fan.
What's up, big dog?
Big Ocho.
Hey, man.
All right, we're going to get into it. So you've done many podcasts. You've been around for a long time. Most people know your story. But for the people who watch your story for the first time, we can start back from ROC. We can start back from Spanish Town. We can start back from anywhere you want to start from. Who is Uriah Hall? How do we get to the Uriah Hall we have here today?
Man, I don't think anybody really asked me that depth. Because as you're saying it, I'm thinking of myself as a kid in Jamaica, not knowing anything, you know, being barefoot. Now as an adult, I own too much shoes. You know, I had one shoe in Jamaica. I had one outfit, one. Now I have too much clothes, and it's a sickness, you know, because, you know, when you grow up that way, you come to realize that from that type of mindset as an adult, you're trying to fill this gap, and it's just empty.
It's the inner child thing.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. But coming to the States as a kid, 13 years old, up on arrival, said this a lot of times, I was bullied. If not the main reason why I started to do martial arts. I think martial arts is so important for kids. Builds that self-confidence, that self-worth, and of course, utilizing that in life, because martial arts taught us that, you know, life is going to come at you from different angles, and you have to have that perseverance. You have to work hard. You can't quit, and you have to learn to adjust the same way life's going to attack you. And of course, going through martial arts, different levels, learning how to teach, being certified. I went to school for 7 years to teach. Didn't realize people didn't go to school to teach. I was like, wait, you didn't go to school to teach? And one of the main reasons why we had to do that, everyone is different. And my job is not to make you like me. My job is to see you and make you into you.
You, the best version of yourself.
Exactly. Same thing with kids. Two best things you can teach kids: self-defense, with self-discipline, and that's going to build self-confidence. And learning that at a young age, teaching kids that, teaching adults how to defend themselves while having that willpower to work hard at anything. And of course, UFC came later. I was a young fighter, Ring of Combat, was undefeated. Chris Weidman was the first guy to ever beat me. And it was only because
you got that back.
Yeah, right?
In a way.
In a Jedi mind trick. But when that happened, when Chris beat me, I was the guy to beat, you know. I was like Anderson Silva at the time.
Yeah.
I was just destroying people. I left kickboxing because it was just too easy. I was 10-0 or something like that, and I was like, I need a challenge. MMA was bursting on the scene. Went into that, became the Ring of Combat champ. Chris was that guy, again, just like Anderson Silva, and the moment I allowed that fear, which was around the first time I've experienced fear, you know, someone saying, yo, he's a great wrestler. And I was like, oh my God, I'm a striker. What if he takes me down? I don't know how to do that. And then when I got in my head, of course, as I'm competing, I'm like, don't get taken down. Worrying about his skill set, forgetting my attributes, I got clipped.
It's what they call self-fulfilling prophecy. So for like an example, a girl used it as a comedian. When you think your girlfriend's going to cheat on you, so then you start treating her bad because you think they're going to cheat. And because you're treating them bad, then they say, fuck you, and then they cheat. And then you're like, ha, I knew it. But technically you weren't right. You almost created your own monster. Right. So with the worrying about wrestling, it was like self-fulfilling. Wrestling's going to be the thing that gets me down. And so you changing your game plan allowed his wrestling to actually come to fruition. Yeah. It was self-fulfilling prophecy. We do it a lot. Humans do it a lot. But, you know, you remedy that mistake the next time.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And in the future with a lot of other fights. So
And just in life too, man. I feel like life's the same way like that. Like, am I gonna get this promotion? Am I gonna? But you're absolutely right on that. But I feel like most of that stuff needed to happen, man, because I get to learn, and I'm a student of life.
Yeah.
That's how I look at life. I'm a student, and my mom told me years ago. She was like, "The idea is to pay attention. You're always gonna learn something, no matter what. Even the worst situation or circumstance,
you're gonna learn.
Pay attention." And she said, "Your disappointment is God's appointment." I never forgot that.
Well, good and bad are a duality. People forget that good and bad are one of the same. Success and failure, you can't have one without the other. And a lot of people try to avoid one, and they don't realize they're avoiding both when they do that. Mm-hmm. But for the bullying part, I want to get into that. Where'd you guys move into when you moved from Jamaica? What state? What city?
Best city in the world. It's not Texas, by the way.
Careful what you say. Careful what you say. I'm from San Diego. We're nationally known.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
shit.
where are you
New York City, man.
New York City? Oh, okay.
I saw a meme the other day that said
that
New York.
trash. No, I'm sure.
Yeah. Now it is, but
It's
I saw
just
a
different.
meme.
I can live there.
You can't.
I couldn't live
It's
there.
a fast pace.
I couldn't. I don't. Fast paced. It's just too much.
You know what? The same way you feel, that's how I feel about Texas. Like, it's too much. But I get it.
Yeah. Teach his own.
Yeah. But New York, I saw a meme that said New York is like the final boss for the rest of the states.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I can see it because it has everything going on. It has it's the superpower.
And
of
nobody
the
cares.
cities.
In a good way. It's like, bro, we got shit to do. Like, my first time experienced racism, I experience on a daily basis in Texas. I mean, I lose track, and I'm just like, and as an African American or black person, whatever you can call it, you can just see it. You can smell it. You can feel it. People don't have to say anything. Like, there's this place next to me called Highland Park, Preston Hollow, and it is so white. They're so white over there. They remind you you're black.
It's so white that Ocho can't go.
No, seriously, I don't hang out.
Yo, for real, because
it's so white that Ocho can't go.
some of my white friends are like, I don't even go.
You're not the type
Just
of
for
white.
being in Highland Park.
Huh?
Like, I'll get pulled over for driving my
Yeah.
You're not the right.
Like,
type
I'm
of
sorry,
white.
sir. Your white is a little dark, and we recognize this.
Yeah,
Now, Uriah, on the other hand,
yeah.
that's where you got to be.
Yeah, right.
You're opening up a new gym over there, aren't you?
I don't know about that,
That's what
man.
Coach was-
Listen,
Coach was
I've heard of that. You know,
alluding to that.
there's some talks, but my thing with this, and of course, the person says, "Hey, change your lens." I'm all about that. You know, let me step in there and, hey guys, we're not all bad black folks. Here's some good ones.
Yeah.
But I don't want to have to wake up every day and go, time to show everybody why I'm a good black. It's it's fucked up. It sucks, and a lot of people aren't going to articulate or understand this. And I try to educate some of my white friends, because one of my good friends, she's like, I don't see color. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Huh?
It's a little different. And here's how I tested her on
Go
it. I said, I want you to walk behind me. I took it to a very white neighbor. I was like, I want you to walk behind me and just kind of watch how people react to me, treat me, and all that stuff. She came back and was like, I am so sorry. I had no idea.
Just
like,
the side eyes and the little things that you
didn't
feel
know.
like, well, that's not a big deal, but they don't do it to you. That's the
Yeah,
difference.
yeah.
If it's,
Oh, why would they do that? I
it's
don't
that
know.
small thing, but it's small thing because we're just walking past each other.
Yeah.
So imagine if we were eating at the same table.
Yeah.
If I'm dating your daughter again, but it's, a lot of times it's like that. They'll have that professional athlete's name on their back when they wear a jersey, but that same professional athlete better not take your daughter home. It's like, whoa, hold on there, boy. Like, we'll play, like you had a take about shut up and dribble type shit. It's like, no, just shut up and dribble, but we're not dating us. Like, you're not invited. I had a coworker.
I get it, man.
I had a coworker, and great kid. His name is Chris. I call him Big Country because he's from Kansas City, Smithfield, Kansas City. And he was getting married. I'm one of his closest people. I take care of this kid, 19-year-old kid. And he told me, he's like, I would love to invite you to the wedding, but you can't come. He's like, where I live, he's like, just until recently, until Pokemon Go, the town sign where it says population, blah, 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 it still said a curfew for colored people, all the way up into Pokemon Go. Because people, it was a Pokestop for the Pokemon Go game. And so people started seeing it a lot often, people that not from the city. I was like, wait a minute, bro, it's 2015. What do you mean it still had curfew for colored people? He's like, yeah, they run clan meetings like really across the street from my house. He's like, so you can't come to my wedding. He's like, I would love you to come, but He's like, it's one of those towns that you see in movies that you really should drive through. Do not stop. And so anybody wondering, maybe somebody correct me on the camera, but Smithfield, Kansas City, this kid wasn't a liar or anything. He's just telling me the truth, the way he grew up.
Wow.
And only black person that white people like are Tech Nine the rapper, because he was like, he's Kansas City guy. But I was like, fuck, it's still real out there.
Yeah.
And you had to take on like shut up and dribble type shit and like about feelings, but it's also, it's deep rooted racism. It's kind of like, nah, like nigga, just be a nigga. Like be the nigga we want you to be. Don't like stop. Like politics are not your thing, and people are a little weird. Mm-hmm. And then we have our, I don't know, half breed, mixed breed. I don't know what the hell we call Ocho. He's white dude for sure, but at the same time, he's invited to every barbecue. So talk about having a chameleon. But
I grew up in L.A. Right? And I was the white boy the whole time growing up. So it's just
that's why y'all just
I act a certain way. I fit in where I'm not supposed to fit in. Type deal.
Is that why you have hands? Because you had to be out here having to fight all these niggas and Mexicans?
Yeah, no. But when, like I said on my episode, when I moved to McKinney, I got more fights in McKinney than I did in L.A. because people out here have respect.
Well, there's politics out here.
Out here, it's like, okay, you stay in your lane. Out there in McKinney, it's like, they're just gonna talk shit to you and expect you not to do anything about it.
Yeah, they haven't been touched. That's the difference. You haven't been touched out here because it's LA invented gangs, and especially Southern California and Northern California too. It's a lot more street code or street value. Yeah. I even learned that in business. You know what's gonna happen. I learned that in business. People in business fucked me over so much, way more than the street kids did. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm the thug. I'm supposed to be the one, but they don't understand. They didn't grow up with any type of like spidey sense of you can't do that to people or else. Yeah. Because it's just, bro, I'm just doing me.
Just smiling and shit.
Yeah, I'm just doing me. It's my best interest, but you're fucking me over.
Yeah.
I'm like, but see, the way I grew up, I'm doing what's in my best interest is slapping the shit out you.
Yeah.
But I would be wrong. And I'm like, okay, damn, like that street code shit, it actually does make sense. It's why prison guards are that's why they allow the gangs and shit in prison. Because to be honest, without that, the guards would be the only enemy. You need this, they need to be regulated. Some shit is regulated. California is a lot more regulated than some of the South. South is just hatred sometimes. And there's good parts, but then the rest of it is racist. But I want to know, like, what were you bullied? Is it because you got from Jamaica, hitting with the wagon? You
Wagwan my youth.
Yeah. There was a patois like fucking you up, or was it just like, were you big then, or were you small then? Because you
I was a little big, but maybe like I ate too much food, bad food.
Dark skin
for sure. How I dress, To kind of go back to what you said, I started to study psychology later on in my life as I got older, and one of the main things I started doing is observe. And what I've learned from people, because I study people a lot, is that we're all in our own reality. Mm-hmm. And I saw a segment the other day, and
Rousseau talks about that a lot.
Who?
Rousseau. It's a philosopher.
Yeah.
And talks about like humans hide behind their mask. We kind of stay in our own bubble, and we don't see things for a full picture. And
but we project it so much. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like I'm trying to say, this is the way. Perfect example. If you put out your left hand like this.
Okay, let's do it.
It says L, right? But to me, it doesn't look like that. Mm-hmm. So it's like the only way we can really see who we really are is looking in the mirror. But someone else is going to look at us and show us who we really, really are. But it's going to be hard for us to see that.
Yeah.
But I love to observe and watch people because I can assess within 3 or 4 minutes. All right, this person is not for me. And not that it's bad or wrong. It's not my energy. We're all just trying to fit in with our own group. If someone says the earth is flat, we're going to seek out 10 to 20 people like, oh, you believe me too? Mm-hmm. Oh, we should hang out.
Speaking of that, that's where the internet has changed a lot of shit. It's where cancel culture is. Ooh. You got to think. I tell people, some of these people back in class used to be the jackass. It was one person that would think this way, and the other 30 people like, yeah, you're fucking crazy. Get the fuck out of here. The problem with the internet is that one person found a million other one persons. You're still outnumbered, but the people who know better, we don't go on the internet and just talk about it because to us it's common sense. Mm-hmm. So the 30 to 1, we stay to ourselves, and you wake up, that one person has been seeking those other people, and then you find a million people, and then you get a movement because all the world sees and media sees is a million people agree that it must be something to it. No, you could still be dead wrong because that's a million out of 8 billion. Yeah. They're probably wrong, but You see a number of 1 million, and you think, but people search out. Birds of a feather flock together, right? It's like misery needs company. Those people that think away, whether it's racism or not, they will find each other. It's a frequency you put in the air. Like this remote has a frequency. That's why it works with the TV. Mm-hmm. Humans have a frequency that we can actually measure. There's a machine you can measure your personal frequency. Plants have a frequency. So if we put out the frequency of bad things are going to happen to us, it's a reason why it fucking happens. You put out a frequency of racism, it's a reason why you fucking find people that think the same. It's the energy you're putting out. You can call it law of attraction, whatever you want to call it. But on racism, my question for you guys, I have a theory that I think racism in the next 30, 40 years is going to be really not as prevalent as it is now. And a lot of people are like, oh, it's going to be around forever. But let me give you my take. We all had grandparents in our life, correct? Mm-hmm. Well, our grandparents grew up. The girl who was the first girl to integrate black schools, I think she's only like 68 years old. Like, that wasn't that long ago. Like, so imagine your grandparents. Imagine you got our president right now, 77 years old. When he was in high school, segregation was still a thing. So when he's the grandparent, and we all have influence from our grandparents, which our grandparents grew up, some of our grandparents grew up during Jim Crow, racist as fuck times. Whether it's Jamaica or here, it's still racist. We're going to be the grandparents. Your son is going to be the grandparent. When your son's the grandparent, you have to think, he's going to be telling people about a George Floyd thing, and that's just going to sound like a folktale. Water hoses and marches are going to sound like a fucking folktale. It already sounds weird now because it's all in black and white. Even though it wasn't long ago, the fact that it was in black and white seems like it was fucking ages ago. Mm-hmm. Jim Crow didn't end. Like, people are still alive that grew up in Jim Crow. All of our presidents and our Nancy Pelosi's, they grew up in Jim Crow era. They're the grandparents now. So that's why we still have people our age and a little bit older that still kind of have racism, are still racist. Now, the South is going to be a little bit hardwired because some of the kids that are going to be grandparents are still growing up deep as fuck racist right now. But my opinion, based on how math works, we're only like 2 generations from it being such a weird thing. It will never all the way go away because prejudice is a thing, but I think it'll be more bigot or prejudice than just straight racism. Because your 13-year-old son, when he's a grandparent, like, you think your son's gonna be racist?
Hell no,
because you're not.
He is a little bit of prejudice towards homosexuals and stuff like that. And I think that's
an internal thing.
But that's more the propaganda that's being pushed at him. It's being shoved down his throat at school.
What about your grandson? When you have a grandson or a granddaughter, you're the grandparent.
Right.
They grow up with your son as a parent and you're the grandparent, and vice versa. You and your girl, you guys live in LA. It's a melting pot of every culture, right? You're black, but you're also Jamaican. You have a lot of white friends being, getting to the stature you got to, the money you're mix and match. You train Hispanics being in Texas. You guys have Middle Easterns around. Like, when you're the grandparent and you're the influence, and then your kid is an influence, your grandchild is not going to know any racism, not being taught.
Yeah.
That's 2 generations away where we're going to talk about shit, and it's going to seem like a folktale, the George Floyd thing and Black Lives Matter and marching and Rodney King. I'm like, what? There's no way that happened. Like, no way it happened. Because it's going to be so, they couldn't imagine it happening. Less and less. Those kids are going to be the new cops, where they grew up around everybody, melting pots. So, but what do you guys think about that? I haven't heard anybody ever say this, but I've put a lot of thought into what would end it, and I think time is going to change, not end, but it would change a lot. And then deep parts of Arkansas and Alabama probably ain't changing at all. But a lot of those kids are moving the fuck out of the South too. A lot of those 20-year-olds, they don't wake up in the morning and stay at home. They wake up and get the fuck out of the South because it's just boring. What do you guys think?
Go ahead.
It's hard to say, man. Because with social media, the way things are, like, if they want to make a narrative, you can say all white people are bad.
Mm-hmm. Well, right now, you guys are on fire.
Exactly. So
it's tough to be a white man right now.
Tell me about it.
You guys can't do shit.
I'm burning all day.
You guys can't do shit right now. Be like, white guys are under attack.
I got it.
Black Twitter.
You got to be gay.
You imagine having a white
if you're
Twitter.
Gay, you get away with
you get away because now you're a minority again.
Now you're not racist because you're gay.
Mm-hmm. There's shit like white people but you guys also make it harder for yourself sometimes. You guys are creating segregation for yourself when you have this, like, sometimes now it's like, oh, well, no, we want to be inclusive, but you're trying to do too much inclusive. Well, no, like, as a white person, we shouldn't be like acting Hispanic, or we shouldn't be acting
What do you
Native
mean, you
American and all that.
guys?
And it's like Native Americans have never complained. It's like these white people took on themselves to be the activists for other races. And it's like, we support black-owned business and black people buying black shit. You know what's funny? You know who else supports that? The KKK. They would love black people to stay the fuck out of white businesses and only shop in their own place. It's the same argument, just, again, L or fucking whatever you want to see it. I always say it's a 6 or a 9. If I put a 6 on the ground, we're arguing if it's 6 or a 9. Neither of us are kind of wrong or right. We just not communicating properly. And when I hear all this, like, nah, black Twitter, and it's like, but you can't have a white Twitter. If you had a white Twitter, can you imagine? You'd be lit the fuck up. Like, hey, this is white Twitter. Like, think about high schools. African American club. Every high school has a black club. What if you had a white club for white people?
I think it goes back to history, though. You know.
So it's like, well, we're allowed to because of that, but technically, it's not. You're still creating a whole new problem all over again.
How about you don't have a fucking club?
So
how about you just
everybody just
That's
enjoy
being
each
all
other.
inclusive.
But
So
white
you
men
can't
are
have
under
your cake
attack.
and eat it too. You got both sides.
Look, we have voter IDs, right? They want to do voter IDs, so you have to bring an ID to vote. And only one party, and white people are the only ones mainly complaining of that's racist. That's racist. You're trying to suppress the black and Mexican vote. Uriah, you're black. You have an ID?
Yeah, I have an ID.
I have an ID. I don't know a lot of people that don't have an ID.
See, you're referring to the
white-
Democrats, though.
I'm just saying, but only white people are complaining like you're trying to. That's racist. I thank you for sticking up
See,
for us.
look
but
what
you
the
know how much of a
Democrats
spit in
have
the
done.
face that is?
They're making white people look bad.
But white people are making white people look bad. You guys are the only ones
That's
trying to
racist.
help. You're trying to help us out.
That's racist.
If it's the truth, it's the truth. Look, again, black people talking to movie theaters. That's not racist.
So
If-
black
if
people
you're
are
gonna
making black
choose-
people look bad.
Huh? Black people make black people look bad all the time. If I
the
go to
time.
LA right now, look, you guys are going to LA. Stop by the Supreme store and see how long the line is. How many niggas in line for the Supreme store, and then them same dudes would tell you it's too far or too much to go get a job. Think how many niggas marched during the Black Lives Matter shit, but at the same time, if it's 15 miles too long, I hired in LA, so I know if the job was over 10 miles away, that's too far. But it's the same people that were marching, but marching was trendy. We look bad sometimes. We really will spend an apartment deposit on a belt, on a Louis Vuitton belt, and it's fucking crazy. Like we really do buy $300 pair of Jordans and go and buy weed, and the light bills do. We do shit like that. As a culture, we do it a lot. Again, I don't see a lot of Italian crackheads. You don't see a lot of Samoan crackheads. You don't see Asian crackheads. You see black and Mexicans at the most. Why? Because we are the culture of, I can't wait for another nigga to fall off so we can feel better about ourselves. It might have been taught to us over time or however you want to call it. But either way, we do make ourselves look bad. I'm black as fuck, but free the homie. How many black people wear free the homie shirts? The nigga's guilty. He killed 4 people and was running drugs. What do you mean free him? You want the police to stop hating you, but you just demonize them arresting the guy who was peddling drugs to the neighborhood and kids. But now, because he's your homie, free the homie. And it's like, no, we make ourselves look bad sometimes. You guys, white people right now, try to help with racism. But to me, it's a spit in the face when you're telling us that voter IDs are racist because you're assuming black people don't have IDs. Who the fuck told you black people don't have IDs? We have to have IDs too. We get jobs.
For the record, any Republican does not say that.
I agree.
In Texas,
yes.
we're against. You all should have ID. You should be registered. So that's a white people, like California white people thing.
Most people that don't have an ID is because they can't go to DMV because they have warrants.
Yeah.
That's normally how it works. That could be any
have an
race.
ID. You should be an American citizen. You should have an ID if you're going to vote.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you should have no say in who's in charge.
To me.
Yeah. But
It doesn't. It's not a white, black, yellow, brown.
And it's again, it might be Democrats, but it's still what race of Democrats are the ones pushing it that somehow it's racist, which is demeaning to us black people or Mexicans. You just assume we don't have IDs. I don't understand how that works. Why would we not be able to vote? It's just, and you guys mean well. Like HOA, whoever created HOA, whoever the fuck that idiot is.
HOA.
They meant well, and originally we don't want anybody to fuck up the neighborhood value. Now it's just somebody took power, and it's human nature. Power,
It's like
power,
TSA
power.
too, man.
TSA, Jesus Christ.
I just came back from
You get pre-check?
France. I did, but
See?
an incident happened to me because my girlfriend's white, and there was this this black lady who's, I'm guessing she's Nigerian, and a lot of Africans, real Africans or whatever, I've heard that they don't like American blacks or other blacks. I've heard that.
We
I've
don't work with
experienced
each other
it a couple times. Right, and the attitude she was given, it's like a lot of black girls who see interracial couples like, oh, you're taking all our good black men. We only got 8. Some bullshit like that. And she was just giving her attitude. And, my girlfriend was just like in shock, and she was trying to be so nice. You're in another country. You don't want to fuck up. Me being me, I'm just,
Yeah.
So at one point I was like, what's the problem? She was like, it's nothing. So I was like, what's really going on here? Nothing, blah, blah, blah. And as we were walking away, I'm like, why are you being so rude? This bitch lost it. She's like, really? And then grabbed our passport and went to the some check-in dude.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this bitch doing? And then I saw another lady.
Giving you a hard time on the
right. And I'm complaining to the other lady, and the lady was like, just be nice. You're in another country, da 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 da. I'm like, fuck that. I've never in my life, this sounds really fucked up, I was this close to punching this woman in the face. I would never hit a woman. Ever. I have a beautiful mom who would probably shoot me. I have 2 sisters who I love. But I knew what she was doing as a black person to put me down. And I was like, I looked at my girlfriend. I was like, I'm going to jail. And I'm probably going to be in France for 10 months or maybe a year. I was that committed. And she was like, are you out of your fucking mind? You know what would happen? I was like, I will happily go to jail. Because she was putting us down and putting me down. And luckily it didn't happen. But what she ended up doing was get us random searched.
Yeah.
So we had a couple of that before we got on the plane. It was a little embarrassing.
Yeah.
And I was going to make a video. And the more I thought about it, I'm like, you know what? This person's probably depressed. She has to sit there. She's fat. And she's have to meet these people. And I'm sipping champagne in first fucking class. Worried about this dumb bitch. I'm not even going to give her. So I felt sorry for her in a sense. Which brings me back to what you were talking about. Politically, I really think we should learn 2 things. One, we should all learn as human beings, and this is so important. We should learn to shut the fuck up.
It'll work.
We talk too fucking much without listening to understand because we're all trying to be right. It's like a silent language that says, yeah, but I can sit here and tell you why I think the sun is like this. And you'd be like, yeah, but did you hear me? No one's listening anymore. Can you imagine if politicians listen to each other? You like this and I like this.
Cool.
But did we understand? We should learn to shut the fuck up, listen to understand, and not listen to reply. So we can literally understand each other. We're all fucking different, man. Can we just listen and understand? Why you like this? Oh, that's cool. Here's why I like this. You don't agree? That's cool. Here's why. Can we understand each other? Why we got to be in a gang? I'm a liberal. I'm this. When people ask me, I'm like, I don't know, bro. I'm a human being with a conscience.
Yeah, I vote for the lesser of 2 evils. If you ask me about voting, fuck the party part. Country first. Whatever I think the best I can is the lesser of 2 evil. I don't be like, well, what can they do for me? First of all, it's 345 million Americans. I am way insignificant. What me personally, there's no president's gonna do anything for you personally.
They don't give a fuck about you.
No, they're.
It's like saying a stripper likes me.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Because she
The stripper don't fucking like you. It's what you gonna do for the stripper.
Fuck no. Yeah.
And people are so stupid with that.
Stop tipping. She's gonna show you.
Trump's gonna save. No, motherfucker. He's gonna save me. I got money, bitch.
Yeah.
You don't.
It's crazy, but people don't. They don't want to hear that because it makes them have to think. So I have a quote. I have a quote on my wall, and it's arguing with the universe is how you create struggle. And the concept of that is some things are what they are. Some people are who they are. It's when you try to argue with it, now you're struggling. You're struggling because humans, we think we're special. We think because I thought something one time and I was right. Well, then I'm fucking special.
I'm special.
You were just on the same page of
That's
what was
Gen
already
Zs.
going to happen.
That's Gen Zs. Gen Zs think they're special.
They do. I'm not gonna lie. They think they are
them Gen
above.
Zs,
I would
man.
say everybody thinks they're special, but they think that they are above reproach. They can't be wrong. And if you tell them they're wrong, then they tell you you're not validating how they feel. And it's like, hey, you're allowed to feel how you feel. It doesn't make it fact. It's the only generation ever, even in the LGBTQ right now, it's fucking up the movement, is who, like, you are crazy as fuck to think you're going to wake up and go your whole life without somebody saying something that you disagree with. Who the fuck do you think you are?
I don't understand that. And forgive my ignorance. I really don't understand that if you can have your valid opinion, because I have a lot of gay friends.
But I can't. Yeah,
I don't understand that. I'm gay, you gotta like me. All right, that's cool. Why?
a lot more times it's the trans than the gays. Because the gays I grew up with, gay people used to be my favorite people. Because if a gay person come out of the closet, they normally don't give a fuck about. They're normally happy because they already went through everything else, religious parents and friends. So when they found their spot, they're normally the ones that are the happiest around. They're the ones you want around because we're still figuring out, awkwardness in life. We're teenagers and early adults trying to play a game. Gay people stopped playing the game when they came out. They were like, just go to one of those like trans shows that like Lips or one of these places that in every city has one, where it's like dinner and a show. Happiest people you ever fucking met in your life. And the shows are great. It's the best shows because it really is just happiness, because the ones that truly accepted himself are not worried. But the ones who are like, I can speak my piece, and this is how I feel. Me. And I'm like, okay, hey, man, you want to be a she? She, no problem.
Yeah.
But telling me I have no choice but to call you a she.
That's where I draw the line.
And I'm not mad at them. They're fucking up their own movement, because when you pull a rubber band so far back, when it snaps, it's going to snap hard. Yeah. Religion tried to do that. It used to be blasphemous if you didn't believe in this religion or that religion. And now it's kind of like the coexist little thing. Back in the day, if you weren't Christian, something's wrong with you. If you weren't this, something's wrong with you. So now it's kind of like...
how big this planet is, bro. Like,
now,
shit we haven't even explored.
Yeah. We don't even explore 10% of the ocean. We don't know shit about nothing.
I'm saying, like, who says I have to agree with you, bro?
I see shit flying in the sky every day that I don't recognize. That's technically a UFO. And we're not even talking about that. It's so much more important shit than, hey, you think that, cool.
Except for when the world people say the Earth is flat, then I'm like, all right, motherfucker.
I'll choose to believe it's round because I think it's a lot more evidence.
Too much evidence.
As I watched Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Who?
Neil Tyson.
Yeah. He says it too
He sounds like he knows what the fuck he's talking about. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe he's
no, you're not crazy, bro.
I watched him for hours on end, and that man says it's round, I'm gonna go with it. Until like if I'm ever 50-50, I'm gonna go with whatever the fuck he said, because that's not my ballpark. Right? I'm not gonna pretend to start teaching Ocho spinning back fist. I'm not saying I couldn't pull one off, but I'm not gonna be like, no, bro, you should actually do this. I'm not gonna be like, oh, you're karate? Actually, you should stand this way. Like, no, I can teach you guys how to public speak. I can teach you how to public speak. I can teach you how to sell better than you guys can teach me how to sell. My producer can teach me how to work these cameras better than I can, but I'm not gonna be like, actually, no, it's not my position.
But here's the thing, though. I listen to people who say the Earth is flat because I'm trying to take my own advice to listen to understand, and I'm like, all right, let me put myself in your shoes a little bit to understand.
Devil's advocate on yourself always.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, let me try to understand why the Earth would be flat, and if I walk this way long enough, I'll fall off a cliff. But I understand him well enough to be like, okay, you know what? I got you. I don't agree with you. I got you. But then these people they switch it on me. I'm like, no, I understand. I don't agree, but I understand. But what do you mean you don't agree? And I'm like, bro, I just said I understand.
People are gangbanging opinions.
Yeah, bro. It's like, yo, I said I understand. Did you even listen to my opinion of why I think the world is round?
Yeah. It's just like, I'm willing to hear you, and I can see why you think that.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't enough to sway me. But somehow that's now you're the devil. Yeah. Because, wait a minute, guy. I gave you my opinion, and you didn't jump on it. Well, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But we're like that. If you go to a gym, you have like a couple of people. You have that one guy who really understands the treadmill, like really understands the incline, the levels, how to burn calories. Then you got the people like me that are kind of like, I know how to run on this bitch, but I don't understand all those 18,000 buttons on the treadmill. Yeah. I just press up until the resistance is there and I run. If I was complaining about a treadmill, you think I'd complain to the guy who knows, like, yo, these things are hard to use? I wouldn't complain to the guy who's knowing what the fuck he's talking about. I'm going to find the other guy struggling and be like, yo, bro, these things are hard to use, right? He's like, yeah, man, they surely are. I found a person just like me, and I surrounded myself around that person. And he's like, yeah, they are weird. And then the other guy, I'm like, hey, because if I went to the other guy, these are hard to use, right? He'd be like, no, not really. So when you got flat earthers, all these people, what they got used to doing that by finding their people is when they talk to you, and they gave you a full opinion, and you listen, and you're still like, yeah, no. They're like, what do you mean? They've been around too many of their own people.
Absolutely.
They have wings, and they're a
And
bird.
not to discredit them, I'm really not, because canceling these days. But
Fuck it.
to jump on that, one of the biggest mistakes I see with myself, I'm always trying to help people. It sounds good, but you can't always try to help people. And most of the time, you might be interrupting someone's karma. And perfect example, my girlfriend, I'm teaching her how to train or punch and kick and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, I was getting frustrated and shit like that. And I'm like, maybe I need to tone it back. I'm trying to train her like me. She's just a regular person.
Mm-hmm.
Or when we're talking about working out, she trains at Training Mate. And I'm like, it's good, but for what I'm used to, I'm an elite. I consider myself a Ferrari. You can't put diesel fuel in a Ferrari. This is like Toyota or something.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to show her all these other stuff. And, she was battling me about, well, I do this. And I'm like, it's a different mindset. And I had to tone it back to not try to help. I'm dishing out this. And that's energy also. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of times we try to play ourselves on other people like that, and we either get rubbed wrong the wrong way. It's not a bad thing, but I was helping people too much.
You can hurt people's life way more.
Exactly.
Trying to put them in
I had to tone it back.
Trying to put a square peg in a circle thing.
This is the way. No, it's a way. There's your way. There's my way. There's
school system
the
does
way.
It. Media does it. School system does it. And unfortunately, we do it as humans. We do it more often than we should. Parents do it a lot to kids. I want them to be better than me, but then you want them to only listen to you. That's not how that works. Yeah. Like, I don't care if your parent makes $2 million a year. You know who can't teach you how to make 3? Your parent. Because if they knew how to make 3, they wouldn't be making 2. There's a line where it ends, and Einstein has a quote: "If you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it'll grow up its whole life thinking it's stupid." A fish is a fish. You can't judge it by climbing a tree. So when your girl is doing the workouts, again, that's a fish, and you're like, why aren't you climbing this athletic tree that Uriah climbed? And it's like, no,
I had to tone that back.
She's swimming in her pond, and you climb trees. And if you judge them too much, once they finally start listening, they'll think they're doing something wrong. She's doing right by how she works, and then she can, transition past that.
The only way I learned that was to spend time with myself. There's alone time and there's spending time alone. Mm-hmm. I personally think, this is my opinion, and I think alone time is, I'm just going to walk my dog. I'm just sitting home reading a book. You know what? I'm just going to be alone. But spending time alone, to me, is literally sitting down with yourself and having that one-on-one full conversation. We all know what we do behind closed doors that maybe we're not proud of.
Yeah.
And we all have that battle we're fighting that no one really knows. We all know ourselves. Nobody knows you better than you. But to have that one-on-one conversations like, Uriah, what's going on with you, man? You know what? I'm just not feeling motivated. Well, why aren't you feeling motivated? I don't have anything to really drive for. Well, why is that? I just feel so distracted. Like, sit down with yourself and have that one-on-one to really get to the bottom. And when I retired, prior to that...
Are you retired, though?
When I left the UFC, retired, I rediscovered this because no one was asking the right questions. Everyone was saying, what are you going to do? I don't know. Or how much money you got? Shit. And of course, you felt lonely. Mm-hmm. The training was different. I'm sure you can relate to this. The training felt different where there was no purpose. And you just fall into unworthiness, especially if you didn't finish or get to where you wanted to. Mm-hmm. And you just fell deeper and deeper. And going outside or meeting people, you just feel there's a different look. It's like, he's either washed up or he's not as good. And the UFC kind of gave you that. It's like, you're a UFC fighter. You're here. But what are you if you're not a UFC fighter?
Yeah.
And for a month, I sat on the couch feeling worthless. And I remember looking at my gun. I talked about this a couple of times. I didn't want to be around anymore because that was my whole life, fighting. And I didn't get to fight the champ, which was Izzy at the time. Yeah. I didn't get to capture the gold. And of course, everyone's like, oh, dude, there's other opportunities. But I had a vision.
Yeah.
That's all I saw.
You worked hard for it. You built a whole life out of it. And when you fall short, it hurts when you get closer to the mountaintop.
So much. And let me tell you, man, I wanted to end my life a couple times, a few times of that. I knew nothing, and I didn't want to have a regular job because I'm not regular. I'm gonna fucking go to Starbucks. Yeah. I'm not regular. I'm an elite.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm a warrior. And to rediscover this about myself, I had to keep digging, ask myself why, and I got to the bottom of it, and it was little Uriah I discovered, who was just this little timid kid who was afraid, who missed a period in his life because he was forced to grow up. I've been on my own since I was 16 years old. And of course, when bullying happened, you learn to fight. And I've been fighting my entire life. I've been fighting racism, how to be a certain way, how to be different environment. I've just been fighting. It's all I knew.
On that, buddy.
It's all I knew. I'm like, that's why I'm this way, because all I knew was fight. So a lot of people grew up differently with their different surroundings. I only knew battle, and I attacked it in so many ways. So now it's taken away. It's like I'm nothing, and spending. Oh man, woo, this hits.
You're speaking my story, so I'm letting you go.
Oh, I get some chills. But man, it was some really hard times, man, and luckily it was a small group of people who I consider my confidants to get me out of that, who said, I don't know what you're going through, but I'm here. But it was so small, man. And some people that you thought were your friends,
to those people.
You thought were your friends who scattered like cockroaches. When I just fought a couple months ago, I didn't tell anybody. But the amount of people that was flocking to me, and I knew what it meant. I'm like, watch what happens after this fight.
Yep.
And it's the same thing. Opportunities, hey man, I'll sponsor you, hey man. And I didn't respond to any of that shit because I wanted to see who they really were right after, whether I win or lose or whatever. And of course, they proved me right. So now I know. And it's one of the best things I studied about psychology, to make myself vulnerable. When I meet a lot of new people, I become a little vulnerable just to see how they treat me. Then I know, oh, that's who you really are. Got it. Now I know where to put you.
So you spoke on a couple of things. The first thing I'm gonna touch on, and I'll go back to your story, is the vulnerability. I used to teach people. My job title was like a performance coach. So I would teach you sales, life, how to run a business, about yourself. And one of the things I used to tell people, especially when it comes to like love or anything, any relationship, is you can't put up a wall. You got like, if this is your weak spot, let's say if you have a scar, if you really want to know who's the right person around you, whether it's a cousin, friend, companion, you need to expose that, because there's going to be some people that see your weak spot, they're going to bandage it up, put something on it, and then protect you from it the rest of your life. People like that, I don't care in what capacity you keep them around. There's going to be some people that are going to see it, and every chance they get, they're going to throw some lemon juice in it, they're going to pinch at it, and they're not going to know why they're doing it, but they just, their body can help it. And it might be your closest person to you. It could be a family member. It can be a spouse. They're the ones that are going to fucking play with that weak spot in the wrong way. And it'd be the person you least expect that sees that, you expose it and be like, yeah, man, I don't know if you know, but this is your weakness. I got you.
Yeah.
And if you find those relationships, those are the ones you keep. And unfortunately, you cannot find it without going through the fire or the pain first. And that's why a lot of people have fucked up relationships, because they refuse to go through pain. I'm not gonna let anybody hurt me. You kind of have to. How do you think these people that are really deep in love, because I let you hurt, I gave you all the opportunity to hurt me and you didn't. Like I know we're special relationship. I don't care if it's wife, girlfriend, son, daughter, coach. You had all access to me and you didn't use it against me. I want you around for whatever reason you're going to be around, because it's a rare thing. Your average person either walks on eggshells around you or tries to walk over you.
Yeah.
If you can find a person where it's neither, like you guys, your relationship, I'm seeing you guys' relationship. I don't see any of you guys walking on eggshells next to each other. Like I got to walk on eggshells, and none of you guys are not even close trying to walk over each other.
I am nervous of him though.
That's because when we driving with
I feel
him,
a little nervous.
That's it.
Because of my skin color?
Yeah, I think it's what it is. That arm is a little that arm is a little bit too
too
white.
free, man.
Yeah. That's the arm he uses when he shakes the right hands.
I love Ocho, but I feel like Ocho's the type of dude you'd be like, don't fuck with him, bro.
I feel like
Don't
he
fuck
has
with
a level when he's
Like, I hope I don't ever become
if
on
he
your
snaps.
bad side, man. I love you to death, man. Just
I mean,
warn me before.
I'll get somebody if I have to, but I'm such a nice guy. But it's like
It's a switch.
I know. I see it. I'm like, nah, bro. I'm good.
You guys ever been
Oh,
around
yeah.
Samoans?
I'll let him get close too. You know, like
Yeah.
as soon as that foot goes
yeah.
all the way on my head, that's when I snap.
Yep.
I'll just
Don't try to
wait,
walk
you
over
know?
me.
I
Me
see
and
that
Ocho's
shit.
relationship, I think, is from the day I met him. While we're cool, and he has flown out here 3-4 times for me, and I've sent people to Texas, and I sponsor his league. He's never once walked on eggshells around me, but he's never attempted to walk over me, and he wouldn't be able to at all. And I've never tried to walk over him or take advantage of him. It's, some things, what is understood doesn't need to be said all the time. Mm-hmm. We're talking about in the car about some things that are just common sense, and obviously they say common sense isn't common, which is absolutely factual. But you just got to watch your circle. You are the average of the company you keep. And you can coin that as true as death and taxes. The average of the company you keep, and if your company is kind of this or that, you will start to be that average whether you like it or not. And I just tell people, if you're weird, be weird. If you're an asshole, be an asshole. Just don't pretend, because we're going to be awkward between each other. Because I'm going to be me. Whatever you are, just be that. And then I'll adjust to how I need to be around you, or I'll tell you I can't be around you. Sometimes I want to see people eat, just not at my table. Right? It's not. I'm not nothing wrong with you. Just you can't be at mine. And so to go back to your story, and it's not my podcast to make it too much about me, but like I live with my mom, but we stopped getting clothes. My mom stopped buying me clothes at 11 years old. So everything I got was mine. I would steal like somebody's PSP from high school, not to play a PSP, because then I'll sell it and go buy myself school clothes or this or that, or pay for my own laundry. So I had to grow up a long time ago, which sucked. Until I got into adulthood and I realized when I'm 25, I got 25-year-old friends doing shit for the first time. I'm like, bro, I've been doing that since I was 16. And unfortunately, it made me good at life because I got the best of both worlds. I can learn the corporate shit. I can learn how to talk. You cannot learn the way you grew up. They cannot learn the way you grew up. And so when you have the best of both worlds, it becomes your ace in the hole. And same thing, I've been in dark times, and I know Ocho in his podcast, we talked about like times where he's like, life is not worth it, and sometimes you attempt it, sometimes you don't. Mm-hmm. I've been dark because people love you when you're doing good. I'm gonna send you a song after this. It's a rap song. I don't know if you listen to rap, but you'll like it because it's everything we just talked about. And a lot of people fall off, and they don't think they're falling off. In their head, they're just, I just had something to do. But people fall off when you're not as relevant, or you're not a service to them, or it's just they got tired of the taste, like a food. Just got tired of the taste. But the same taste, you fight Jake Paul next week. A lot of people will be calling you. Same people that if you told them you're going through shit, it'd be like, oh, bro, I'm sorry to hear that. About as much as you'll get.
Let me know whatever you need, bro.
Yeah, but you can't really call them. Tyler Perry has a thing that he talks about. Some people are like a tree.
Ship.
Well, this was rocket ship is one, but it was like a tree. Some people are the leaf of the tree, right? The wind blows, it's there. Wind blows that way, it's there. And those people you got to kind of let go out of your life. They treat them the same way, where they're kind of in and out, handshake, call it a day. Mm-hmm. Then you got people that are tricky. They're like a branch. They seem strong. They seem sturdy. They don't wind can't just sway them. But if you ever need to lean on them, they will snap. So if you ever really, really need them, they won't really be able to hold what you got going on. And then there's people that are like the roots of the tree. Not necessarily need to be seen, but they developed there, and they're the ones that hold the whole tree together. Mm-hmm. And you need to find roots. So those small circle of people that held you down, you probably had no idea there might have been roots, and some of them you probably did, but it's good that you have some roots, because I know some people that do not have any. Your story you're saying about people finding themselves, I have a cousin that probably needs to, I'm glad he's going to watch this, because he needs to go find himself. And that's my personal opinion, right? My opinion is like, it's like opinions are like assholes. Everybody has them and they all stink. But my man has a hard time being alone. When he's not, if he's somewhere, his AirPod is in, and if his girlfriend's in Atlanta, he's here. He does not go an hour of the day without talking to his wife. Like he doesn't do alone. And he's gone through some trauma. His mom was killed when he was 12 years old or 11 years old. And then fast forward, his brother just was murdered last year. And I was like the only, like, He's losing family daily. He's going through shit, and all he does is smile all day. But the one thing he has never done is be by himself and talk to himself, not the real way he should. And I think it'd be therapeutic for him. It'd be a dark space for him for a long time. Yeah. I think that dark space is what he's scared of. He has a son too, so you don't want to put yourself in a dark space when you got a kid to take care of. But he does have a few people around in circle that will be there to kind of pull him up as he kind of baptizes his own mental. We won't let you drown. We got to go through the feeling, but we won't actually let you drown. But I'm glad you're able to go through that. I'm kind of in that space right now. I just got divorced.
You have to do it, man. I think you have to do it. And you can't want something more than someone else. There's so many people out there that I wanted it more. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I had a couple teammates. I wanted it more. And I'm like, why am I here just busting my ass wanting it more for you? This is your career, bro. What the fuck are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
But
it's different mindsets.
Yeah. And they have to go through their own trauma. I felt now looking back, like Steve Jobs says, you look back, all the dots are connected. I look back, I'm like, I needed to go through that. I needed to feel at the bottom. And I've been there. I was homeless at 16. I ate out of garbage. Literally went out with friends, ate ketchup packets. Why? Because my dumb ass was like, I love ketchup. I love the sugar. Mm-hmm. They're like, why didn't you order? I just want some sugar, man. I'm a little low.
This is all I got.
And I remember it was the lowest point in my life where I went into garbage and I ate someone leftover sandwich.
So I was a little bit, I timed my homeless, was perfectly timed. I was shitting on the sidewalk. I had my broken down car. Thunderbird 97 LX. Thank you for holding me down. It was broken down, but it was on a hill.
What's a Thunderbird?
Thunderbird. It's a weird car. It looks like a Pontiac Firebird.
That's a cool ass name.
So I'm sitting in I sleep in that car. I'm working 2 jobs, so I'm not a bum, but I'm homeless. And like my car doesn't work, so it's nighttime, nobody's around. I got to shit, so I got to shit on the sidewalk, or the bushes right there. But then I kind of roll my car down a little bit so nobody associates it with me. And luckily for me, I'm homeless right around McDonald's is doing the Monopoly thing. So I've actually been in the, I'm breaking open McDonald's trash because so many people don't peel off their Monopoly sticker, and you get free fries, free this. So I'm in the dumpster. You know what a dumpster smells like. A lot of people really don't know, but that smell.
I know that smell.
Like you would know lotion. I know that smell because I've been in dumpsters. You look around real quick and you got to do what you got to do because it's Darwinism at this point. And, luckily for me, I'm like peeling off the shit and killing, fucking, I don't care about Monopoly pieces. Fuck your boardwalk. I need the free fries. I need this free drink. And it was able to hold me down for a while. And then Denny's was, you're a little older than me, but Denny's had the fucking all you can eat pancakes. So $5 if you park your broke down car, you rent a U-Haul because it's $20 to rent a U-Haul, but you can sleep in the U-Haul too, so it's cheaper than a hotel room. So then I'll park a U-Haul outside of like a Denny's because now you have bathroom, $5 pancakes, you can eat all fucking night, and you learn how to navigate the best you can. So I can imagine being homeless in New York. Fuck, like that's homeless in California sounds like a luxury compared to homeless in New York.
That's why I love New York, man.
You got it. You got out the mud by the definition of getting out the mud.
Yeah.
New York
shout out. Is like the girl that you'll do all that nasty shit with. That you can just, this is
an experiment.
But you'll never be with her.
Marry her.
Yeah. You know what? I ain't gonna marry this chick. But I'll do all that nasty shit. That's the New York. Because
that's New York.
At a point, I outgrew New York. It needed to teach me to be hard. Because when I go to other states, I'm like, especially Texas, when it snows, no one could drive. But when I go to other states, I'm like, bro, that's nothing. Credit to New York that gave me that backbone. Shout out to New York.
Yeah. East Coast in general. I tell people have an East Coast mindset, Boston, all that mindset of kind of get shit done and like it is what it is.
Fuck about you. Yeah. I didn't even know what racism was, bro. The first time going back to that Highland Park thing, I was at the gym and I went to some CVS. And I was like, why is everybody looking at me weird? The fuck?
They ask you, you need anything? You find everything okay?
No, dude. Honestly, this lady almost crashed her car.
Oh, shit.
I was walking, and she did one of these, and I was like, the fuck? Oh, she probably talking about an athlete. My dumb ass. Went back to a couple of the guys, and I'm like, hey, y'all ever heard of this place called Highland Park? And they all looked at me like this. You were in Highland Park? I'm like, yeah, I just went to CVS. Why is everybody so weird? He's like, bro, that's Whiteville. I'm like,
yeah.
And the first thing I said was, we're still doing that? Because New York, no one has time. I mean, maybe the Upper West Side is a little racist. Yeah. But no one has time to be racist. So, again, I experienced it so much, but I have a choice. And I'm not going to play the victim card and say, white people are doing this. Although sometimes I comment on Instagram, you know, when I see something racist, I say sounds about white.
Yeah. You know,
And then
crazy?
people go, "Why are you commenting?" I'm like, first
We've
of all, I can
commented
do
on the
that.
same thing a few times. He doesn't recognize me.
We do?
Because my name is not on his page because he didn't follow me, fucker. But I see his. You know, it says Uriah Hall.
I don't hide.
Like this, right?
I have a private account, but I don't hide. I'm like, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna hide. I'll say it with my fucking
I've
real
commented
account.
on his comment before, like
Yeah.
100 emoji, because I've watched some of this shit, and he's not lying. He really has commented, or it'd be something like something like that, and he'll just put a bunch of laughing emojis, and you'd be like, this whole celebrity is like really in the chat like everybody else.
Don't give a fuck. But people
And-
go, "Why are you here?" I'm like, nigga, it's
I like
the
Instagram
internet.
too, motherfucker. Like, you can't like Instagram because you.
Yeah, I seen people at Starbucks go, "Where's your entourage?" Nigga, I'm getting a coffee. I can
Yeah.
get a coffee by myself.
I'm not.
I'm not even. I don't look at myself as a celebrity. I feel very normal.
Yeah.
I don't ever treat myself like that. People come up to me and I take pictures, and people are like, "Who are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, I."
You get annoyed at pictures sometimes. I was gonna bring that up.
No, I don't get annoyed. I used to be when I was younger, but I get this. When I get this, hey man, can I get a picture? That's when I get annoyed.
Well, it's funny because that's almost exactly what happened. So we're sitting. I think it might have been an Arizona card. Me and my business partner sitting next to you. You were in the fighter section. We're right outside the fighter section. I'd already met you a few times in like the VIP, whatever, you know. But again, you meet a bunch of black kids. Even though in the VIP, I'm one of the only black people there, and you
Right.
recognize it.
They forced me to do that shit.
I mean, hey, you help make people's day, right? You're a lot of people's favorite fighter. So he's like asking him. He's talking to you, the homie. He's like asking you, and you're like, you told him like, be honest, I don't even like doing this shit. And I'm looking at you. He's like fucking like. She's kind of annoying doing this shit, but it is what it is. And you gave him the picture, but I think I'll pull it up. I'll probably have it in the background when we do it. Your face is kind of like it's fucking dry as shit. I might have it on my wall, or I didn't put it because it's
Damn.
such a dry fucking picture. Because there's a lot of me and the fighters, but I'll show it before you leave. It's just like you're literally like this. Like I can't even make the face. I'm smiling too much. Like just like you fucking done.
It's the way I
But
get
it's
approached,
also
man.
look. It's
all
mid.
about tone.
It's mid fight. You're at your seat. You probably already did the whole VIP thing, and it's like, fuck. Like
No,
yes,
no.
I know I'm gonna take a picture,
I'm
but
gonna be honest with you. It's all about approach. And I was having this conversation because I've dated
people
when
people
I-
touch you guys and shit. That's weird.
Yeah, but it's how they do it, you know. And you know, I was explaining to my girlfriend one time, especially as a woman. I'm gonna jump on this topic.
Yeah.
For a woman,
My gate.
right? Oh, sorry. I think it's very important. I could be wrong, but I feel I'm very right. I think it's very important for a relationship as a man. As a man, you're supposed to let a woman bask into her femininity, and she's supposed to let you bask into your masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
A woman shouldn't be like a man, and it should complement each other. If she's not complimenting my masculinity, for me, I shut down naturally. And what do most men say when you say, "How are you feeling?" I'm good.
I'm good. That's it.
Because the moment I started going to my day, you use that shit against me at some point.
Yeah. Or you really don't give a fuck. One
Right.
of the two.
But it's approach. If you approach me as a woman in a relationship femininely, of course I'm gonna open up. But if you fucking come in as a dude,
It's the key to the lock. Women don't understand they have that.
They
They have
have
the
it.
key to the lock.
But something
just
happened
making
where
it
they're
feel
like-
special.
I need that. No, but you don't. Like there's stuff you can do that I can't. Well, you're way better nurtured than I can ever
Yeah,
be.
men are
You can
normally
give birth.
privileged.
I shouldn't be giving birth, first of all.
Yeah.
And there's more things that a man could do, like, I don't know, someone breaks in the middle of the house. I'm just gonna be like this. You got this, right? Mm-hmm. You look at me to fucking do the shit.
There's certain things that
but we gotta
roles.
listen to understand each other, and we're supposed to complement each other. You shouldn't be, as a woman, try to be masculine. I shouldn't be hike, and you next to me going hike. We can't hike together, bitch.
That's something our people have to do right now because black women are the queens. I've
Especially.
never heard other races really talk about being an independent bitch. Black women say it the most. Women in general get money and start saying, I don't need a man. Men get money and start talking about we could take care of a woman. Black women are very he can't handle me. Why would I want to handle?
why would I want to do all that stuff?
Like, what are you talking about? Like, I want to handle. I want to go work, do all this other shit, and come home,
to deal with your bitch ass.
and you want to have a bigger dick than me. Like, you can't have. Only one of us have a big dick. Like, you can't try to whip yours out and see who's bigger. But conveniently, again, somebody breaks in the house, you tuck tail. All of a sudden, you're no, pick one. Because then if I keep your energy, I'm sassy. Okay, fuck. Okay, so
What
it's
do
no
they call
win.
it? What's the women call it? Feminism? Yeah, that shit goes out the door, right?
Yeah, that shit is not feminism. Feminism is lost again. They're fucking up their own movement. Not everybody, but they fucked up their own movement.
Yeah, but
now
feminine is a person. It's not a woman, it's a
It's
person.
about being special. Because equality, again, like there's somebody put online the Titanic. Titanic sunk these days, you bitches are fucked. There's no women and children on the boat. No, children and everybody else getting where you fit in. And guess what? I'm stronger and bigger than you. Bitch, you're gonna sink. I am on the boat. It is what it is. Like women, you would want to be women and children. Now we're equal.
I can't argue
don't
with
wanna
women.
treat you.
For the women that I've argued with, I literally get up and leave. And when I get this, I'm like,
It'll drive you
why would I
crazy.
sit there and argue with a woman? I'm not built for that. I have a logical brain that makes sense now. You might make sense later. I make sense now.
Yeah.
Nothing bad wrong
Your
with
feelings
that.
make sense, but in facts, facts and truth. See, truth and facts are different. People will tell you their
But you
truth.
can't say that.
So, but you
can't
can't.
say
You're
that.
not supposed to say it.
Yeah.
People can pass a lie detector test based on their truth, but it still won't make it a fact. If you believe the sky was red, you'll pass a lie detector test 10 out of 10, and you look up and the bitch will still be blue. But so I'm a quote guy. I've given you guys a few quotes. Mark Twain, right, Mr. Huckleberry Finn himself. One of my favorite quotes ever, and this keeps me from arguing a lot, is if you argue with an idiot, they'll bring you down to their level, bring you down to their level, and beat you with experience.
Yep.
That every time I'm about to argue with somebody, I just tell myself, I say it out loud, Mark Twain, Mark Twain, Mark Twain, Mark Twain. People are like, what are you saying that for? I'm thinking, you'll get it real soon because I'm gonna stop talking to you.
Yeah.
I can't do it. We're not arguing the same argument. We started off as a debate to see about a point, and now you're just telling me how you feel. It's the LeBron James, Michael Jordan conversations. I can't do that. Kendrick and Drake, I can't do that.
How about they're both great in their eras?
Yeah, they're fucking great. If you want to debate who's the best, let's do it without you saying mine is trash because it's not the same as yours.
Exactly.
And you can say mine is like, you like Kobe, so you can't like LeBron. Or it's like you can say LeBron's trash. Well, he's not trash. You can say you don't like him or whatever, but to say he's trash is like, we're not talking about reality.
First of all, what does it do? Okay, let's say you're right. Let's say, all right, LeBron's better. What does it do for you?
No. That's
What
why they
does it
call
really
it fanatics.
do?
That's
What
why
does
they call
it
it
do?
fanatics.
These fucking fans need to stop living vicariously through celebrities. Now I'm taking advice from a fucking celebrity. Drink water, guys. Actually, water is bad for you. You know what? Eggs shouldn't be eaten. Bitch, you have a degree in this?
Yeah. That's what the government has told the Twitter people. Do you have a medical degree? No. So why would you censor the medical professionals, the doctors saying that COVID vaccines are bad? Well, we try to not put things that could be wrong. Do you have a medical degree? No. Then how do you censor, you and your people censor without medical degrees, actual doctors? Doctor
Actual
could be
doctors.
wrong, but the point is you don't have a dog in that fight. That's not for you to say. Right. But the segue from what you said about fans as fighters, questions for both of you guys. Fans will fucking cheer for you when you win, and they will cheer for you when you get slept.
Oh,
How do
man.
you guys deal with that and then go take a picture with the same person that was that was like, fuck you and all that? And then obviously as soon as you see him in person, you know that's probably the same guy on your Instagram talking shit about your loss. And you're like, smile and take a picture. Have you learned to mentally take that out? Or do you kind of just laugh at him because like you kind of know like, I'd like buy you from your mother, 1. 2, I'd beat you up in front of your girl. Yeah, it's one of the things I like saying when people like, I don't talk about money I have. But when people want to bring it up, I'm like, I'll buy you from your mother. Stop, leave me alone. You should use that. Sometimes you use it if somebody just irks you. Somebody goes online and start talking shit. Next troll you find, it's like, shut up before I buy you from your mother, you broke bitch. You'll get 1,000 likes immediately and then it'll be a trending. But make sure.
I insult people intelligently because to me, they'd be like, well, you suck. And I get into it just for fun because people are like, oh, you arguing with a normal person? Ah, gotcha, bitch. You're normal. You know, like, I'll say shit like, my favorite line, somewhere on this planet, there's a tree that replaces the oxygen you breathe.
I say, it's
Go
funny.
find it and apologize. You know, like shit like that.
I say, look, my cousin's laughing because I've told people in my office, I was like, hey, you need to go take $10 and you go buy a seed and go plant a tree for the oxygen you just wasted on this planet. I need you to go plant a fucking tree. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, you should. Or I tell people, you know what? Fuck, arguing with you. Now I got to go fucking plant a tree. Because I just wasted oxygen for talking to your stupid ass.
You're right.
But
to
how
answer
do
your
you
question,
guys
bro,
deal with that?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just don't engage. You know, like there's difference between fans that actually care about the fighters and your fair weather fan. And
There's your day ones, man.
95% of the fans don't give a fuck about you.
They just want carnage.
So yeah, so fuck those guys. You know, those
You're doing
are the
something
guys
there,
that
you know, they
would
can't-
thank you for watching.
Yeah.
Like thank you for your input because you guys pay our bills. So hate us or love us, like you're gonna love me tomorrow. I don't even engage with them because it's just a thank you. Thank you for being a fan of this sport.
Yeah.
Think
Good
about
shit.
the word fan. You know, fan.
Fanatic.
You're a fanatic, meaning you watch me.
Right.
Meaning you don't really know me. So now you have an idea of what you want.
Yeah.
Now, part of that's kind of good because I have people go, man, you know, you should have been that guy. My favorite thing people say, I couldn't pull the trigger. Motherfucker, pulling the trigger is literally, just for people who don't know this, pulling the trigger is that walk to the octagon. You're literally walking to your death. That is a trigger. Now, if I speak to, say, incidents that happened in the ring that didn't go my way, big part of that is politics that people don't know. There are fights I did not want to do. Now, I can tell you as an athlete, when you don't want to do something, you check out because you're not there. You go on autopilot.
Energy is everything.
It is. There's fights that I lost where I'm like, I don't want to do this shit, but you can't say no to the UFC. So it wasn't really about trigger. I was taught as a martial artist to beat the fuck out of you and be like, you good, bro? But that's not allowed, especially as men in that arena. You can't show feelings. The fuck are you apologizing for? I had coaches say, bro, why are you being nice to this guy? I'm like, we're about to kill each other, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Least I can do is be nice. But you're not supposed to do that. So I grew up around that. And as I got older, I stepped away from it. And a lot of the fights I didn't want to do, but I had to do it because if you don't, the thing with the UFC, they don't like when you say no. So you get pushed back. Oh, you don't want to do this
Put
fight?
on the shelf.
Well, guess what? You're going to fight later on this year.
Put you on the
and that's
shelf
8
or start
months.
putting you as the fish
Right.
to some other fucking person
And they
try to feed
categorize you. I saw they were doing that towards the end of my career. They were trying to make me a gatekeeper. And I was like, oh, no.
Same.
Because Darren Till, I was ranked number 8.
Yeah.
And he was ranked 6th. He lost 4 times in a row. I won 4 fights. So I'm like, I should be fighting top 5. I asked for this. I fucking pled for this. I said, bro, I will come to your country. I'll even take a pay cut. Because now I'm like, it's business.
Yeah.
Didn't want to fight me. Literally ducked me. And the UFC was protecting him because, you know, he's
He was
from
a draw.
Britain and
He was a
you know,
draw
he has a
and he
big
was on the
name.
other side of the
Yeah, if I
pond.
beat him, he is done. And he knew I was going to kick his ass too.
Yep.
He's a great talker. So once I saw they weren't giving me that and they were giving me Sean Strickland at the time, and I'm like, Sean is ranked 13. This makes no sense. Yeah, but, you know, we can't have Darren Till. Tell you what, if you beat Sean, we'll give you this guy.
Yeah.
You can't say no to that. Fine. For a lot of people who don't know this, when I fought Darren Till, the weight cut was bad. I had kind of an acute kidney failure. I was in ICU the night before.
Shit.
And basically one of the doctors came in and said, you can't fight. Your kidney level is so low, you might die. You don't fight, what happens? You don't get paid, right?
Yep. Right.
There's no like baseball, like, oh, it's guaranteed. You
You
hear
still
some money.
owe coaches. You still owe all kinds of
Exactly.
people. So you have to go out there and get paid regardless. At least the show money.
Yeah.
The show money and the Venom $6,000 check.
Or if
whatever
you
it
miss
is.
weight, you know, there's a
half the
percentage.
purse or, yeah.
So I didn't want to go through that. And I don't want to throw anybody on the bus, but another doctor came in and said, hey, let's keep him overnight. Put him on IV to get his levels back. Now, they kept me overnight. I got out of the hospital maybe 3 a.m, the day of the fight.
Shit.
And I went back to the hotel, and I'm like, you know, I'm good. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, am I good? First of all, I am never going to make excuses. As a fighter, you shouldn't. There's no sick days. So going in there, I'm walking in, and I'm like, I'm good. I feel good. First 3 punches Sean threw breaks my orbital. And I think it was the right one. So I don't know if anybody broke their orbital. Basically, the color of your shirt is what I'm seeing. So I'm not backing out. I got one eye. I got another eye. I'm good. Sean is very good at his style. His style will shut your style down because he's very unique.
Yeah.
Credit
he's
to
a
him.
front runner. He's gonna push.
He has an awkward way of
through you.
punching.
That front kick.
Right.
that
So
weird
by
front
round 2.5, maybe, I started losing vision in this. Because, you know, my confidence went away with one eye. So now I'm doing physics trying to fight him. This eye is kind of fading. So if I take away this and half of this, you're in your head. So
Yeah.
now I'm like on survival.
Short of a lucky punch, you're probably
Right.
gonna lose this.
My coach is, you know, we're not saying stuff, but he kind of sees what's happening. Hey, man, you got to tough it out. Let's find a way. Fuck it. Round after round, I'm like, how do I get this motherfucker? Something. Ended the fight. barely could see out of my eye. Now, to a lot of people who didn't know the story, of course, I suck. I didn't show up. I didn't pull the trigger. And even now, me saying this is like, oh, shut the fuck up. Shut up and dribble.
Yeah.
But what happened after that fight, as much as I lost that fight, I wanted to battle with myself because I couldn't tell you how many times I wanted to quit and I couldn't live with myself.
Most people
But
would
credit to
have.
Sean. Credit to
Common
Sean.
sense
He's a champ.
says to do
He's
it.
a stud.
Yeah. I mean, he did what he was supposed to do.
Exactly.
Right? Bilal did what he's supposed to do. Gilbert might have damn near broken his arm that fight or his shoulder, but you got to fight.
fight? Oh,
But
Kamzat?
when Bilal fought
no,
Gilbert Burns,
Oh, yeah.
Gilbert's right arm was done after the first round.
But you can't complain.
TJ Dillashaw and Aljamain
complain.
Sterling. I would love to see him running back when TJ Dillashaw's shoulder doesn't come
Exactly.
out. But
Exactly.
Aljamain has to do what he has to do, and Dillashaw stood in and tried to
It's
fight
called
the whole
MMA.
fight. Yeah.
Like, what the fuck
Mix
do you think
it up.
MMA stands for?
Mix it up. We can't write with your right arm. I do something with your left, but it's
Yeah.
but for a fan. See, fans are writing in their autobiography the Uriah Hall chapter. The problem is they're the only one writing that chapter without asking you. So they're writing the Ocho chapter, and the problem is you haven't given your intake in their Ocho chapter, so they're gonna write what the fuck comes up in their head.
Yeah.
Some things are on point, but most of the time they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. And if you see the bottom of the idle time, it says, "But what the fuck do I know?" I have a lot of fighter shit, and it's I want to talk about shit, but at the same time, don't ever let me misspeak. You know, I might say it because I'm on the outside, and I hate people on the outside like myself that is assume to know everything. They oh, nah, man, you could have just did this. I'm like,
Isn't that the best? You just sitting comfortable on your couch. Hey, man, why don't you throw more punches?
fuck.
I'm sorry.
You would have won if you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta tell this.
Yeah,
when I
let's do
fought
it.
Robert Whittaker in Australia, I lost to Robert Whittaker. He's a stud, first of all.
Yes, he is. It's a big
I
deal.
had staph infection. I fought
Shit.
4 times that year, and Michael Bisping was supposed to take that fight. My manager at the time made me take it. I didn't want to. I trained for 6 camps. 2 didn't happen. So I was tired, and it's been a year. So I'm like, I don't want to take this a short notice. This was right after I knocked out Gegard Mousasi. And I'm like, I'm going to chill.
It's probably not even $100,000 fight, right?
Oh, no, not even. I was
No.
making chump change.
50 to show, maybe.
Not even. I wasn't even in
Shit.
that bracket. So I was like, oh, man, I just came from Japan. Now I got to do another time change. I was like, I don't really want to do it. It's a great opportunity, da-da-da. My manager pleaded with me, and I was like, this guy's a dick now looking back. He didn't care about me. Flew out there, had a staph infection on my fucking toe. My toe was like this. Called Dana. I don't know what to do. I'm like, hey, I have a staph infection on my toe. He's like, all right, we'll find the best doctor. Found a doctor. They took out the pus, gave me antibiotics. I've never been on antibiotics. Never. So throughout that week, I feel very delayed. The walk to the fight, I was like, why do I feel so delayed? I would take 5 steps, and I was like, I don't remember getting here. So when Robert was fighting me, I remember getting hit. I'm like, I block afterwards. I mean, it was so terrible. No excuse because I got to show up.
Yeah.
Robert beat me the first 2 rounds. By the 3rd round, I literally said, man, fuck this. And I just balls to the wall, and I was doing my shit. And I lost that fight. And it sucked because, you know, the management, they didn't care. And not wanting to lose, it was just such a fucked up thing. But
Worked out for them because Robert was the draw.
yeah.
So
And he did very
he gets
good
the
too.
veteran name on his record.
Yeah.
He was a draw, and I mean he's a dog, so it works.
He's a dog. But I was like,
But you want to fight him at your at least. Nobody's ever 100 going in, right? I'm not a
dude,
fighter.
the last time I was 100, take a guess.
When you're 16, when you first started fucking fighting.
Not even. Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's the closest.
But the last time I was at my best was fighting Adam Sella. That was 2012.
It's
I mean,
hard.
when I fought Dylan for the semifinale, my right shoulder was so fucked up. If you watch that fight, I was jabbing the whole time.
I'm gonna
This
go back
shoulder,
and
I
rewatch
couldn't
it.
throw it. I couldn't throw it at all. But I read a lot, and one of the things I saw, Rocky Marciano, I think,
Marky Marciano.
and he got tired from throwing punches. He would go in the pool and throw a lot of punches to building his endurance. That's what I did. I was building my endurance, and that helped me that fight. But that was the last time I felt my best. 2012.
would
I broke
say-
my toe.
I'm not a fighter, but watching you guys go through camps and being, I sponsor some
Oh, it's
fighters,
brutal,
manage
man.
some, and
It's brutal.
Nobody's ever 100. You know, your 100 is like if I'm 85, you're fucking money.
70.
But you're gonna have some nicks, some bruises, maybe a cut, some pain,
Bro,
a
how many
rib
fights
or
you
that,
walked in?
or you didn't have a full camp.
I always said I was 100%.
Yeah, but
you can't.
But that 100
you,
is
you tell them you're 100% because up here,
And you get that
nothing
free
else
insurance.
matters.
yeah.
You-
Speaking of Sean
Oh, I'm
Strickland,
fine, dog.
Sean Strickland fucked you out of your fight bonus, right?
He did?
When you
He
he
pissed
fucked you
me
up during
off.
your weight cut.
He
Tell us the story.
He gave me some. Just, I was sitting in the sauna and the motherfucker just was not stop talking.
Yeah, he commented some shit on my wall.
Because you're fighting his guy.
I'm just sitting there like, all right, man. Like, so yeah, I ended up getting up and walking out. I'm sure he increased my cortisol levels, or whatever, however scientific way you put it. But it was a shitty weight cut. Yeah,
and you miss weight.
I missed weight cut. I didn't, speak on like, I had medical issues going on with my body, years and years of cutting weight,
cares, bro.
but nobody cares. And at the end of the day, I lose my bonus, and that's all people talk about.
You end up with the fight of
you
the
miss
night,
weight,
and you lose the bonus because you didn't make weight. So 80% of people don't care, and the other 20% are happy that it's you versus them.
yeah.
Oh, I got my day one. I have fans from the Tough who literally still write me, and I'm like, man,
That's great.
my day ones, man. And credit
I'm
to
one
you
of them, by
guys.
the way.
Y'all know who we are.
I'm one
for
of
real?
them.
I appreciate you.
Again, I text you before the Jake Paul and
did?
after. Remember that.
Sean
Yeah.
wrote some shit on my wall. One of my posts, on my last post, he said some shit about something gay.
Something weird.
Or something about me being gay or something like that. I guess it was three guys just standing looking very nice, which I've learned when you bully someone, it's something you want to do, but you can't.
Yeah, that's
Can you
normally
imagine
how
Sean
it
in a
works.
suit? Anyways, all I said to Sean, because I know Sean, we trained back in the day. I said, Sean, I love you, bro, but please don't reproduce. Just don't. Your lineage ends right here.
Remember I told you about the generation thing? He's going to be one of those generations that when he's Paul, it's not going to get any better. Paul's going to hate when that little kid has like all these black friends and one kid, like a gay friend, and you're going to bring him home and Paul's going to be telling him, the fuck are you doing?
Right.
Wait,
So, and I
Paul?
haven't met like Grandpa when he's the Grandpa. When Sean
Grandpa,
when
yeah.
Sean is the Grandpa, again, I sound like him talking about shit
He's
people
good
that I
for
don't know.
entertainment, though. He's good.
But
He's a cool
again,
guy.
I know he's down here. I would love to. I'm gonna try to. I know he's one of these gyms in Riverside, so I'm gonna try to run into him. But from the personality I see, he's gonna be a very tough grandfather because his grandson's gonna grow up in a generation of a gay friend, a black friend, a gang member friend, like a mix, the melting pot. And he's very kind of, fucking NRA, fucking gung ho, America, and
America.
and get her done type guy. And I think his grandson's gonna grow up in California, Riverside, and his grandson's gonna have a lot of mixed pot friends, gay, trans, everything. And I don't know if he's gonna be one of the grandpas where, well, you can come over, but my grandpa's a little weird. They're gonna have to say that. They're gonna have to give a disclaimer before they meet Grandpa Sean.
I don't even have time for those emotions anymore, man. I'm so far out of those emotions, to be honest, where I am right
It'll
now
drive
in
you
my
crazy.
life. I finally found the real happiness of life. And to me, what that means is becoming the best version of yourself. For years, I didn't want to touch on the topic as a man being vulnerable. It was considered weak. You're a pussy. You're this. Don't talk about your feelings. And, you hold it in. And then you just become this dick.
Mm-hmm.
You just become a part of these emotions. I'm not saying run around and be like, hey, guys, I'm feeling sad today. But I'm saying if you don't express yourself, especially as a man,
Accept it too.
because life to me right now is balance. Think about it. You eat too much, you're fat. You don't eat enough, you're skinny. But this threshold, there's nothing wrong with expressing yourself. It's how you do it, of course. There's nothing wrong with being unapologetic. It's how you do it. I'm not going to just go out and be an asshole because now I'm an asshole. But if you choose to be an asshole, be that asshole. But be that level. Be comfortable in your own skin. If I don't want to do something, I don't want to do something. Someone told me, a close person said, Uriah, you're difficult to work with. I'm sure you know who it is. And I'm like, why am I difficult? Because, you always talk back. And
You don't give dominion over yourself to anybody.
Right. And I'm like, there's a reason for that. What's wrong with asking why? Why can't I ask why? Why do I have to do what you said? Why should I do
Should
that?
be a good explanation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you want me to vote this?
Faith.
Why do you want me to eat this?
Faith is good. Blind faith is ignorance. There's no fucking
That makes me difficult to work with. I'm fucking asking questions. Okay, then I'll be fucking difficult.
whatever.
outta here.
You pick your. I say insightful and you say difficult. Again 6'9", and we're just not seeing from the same fucking end. To each his fucking own. But no, I've had people call me difficult. All the white people in corporate America, they say Mike's great, but he's a little rough around the edges. That's their way of saying I'm a nigga. It's like, like a little rough around the edges. And I'm like, oh, okay, so I don't conform. I still, when I'm underneath them, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Problem is I was never good enough. They know that the way I carry myself, once we leave work, I see at a grocery store, it's kind of like, your boss here, you're better than me at this thing. But as a man, like, I don't think I plan to surpass you in life. You don't get dominion over me because of a title or a position, but that's not how people work. A lot of people's form of respect is you have to give them dominion. And somebody like yourself, you're not given dominion over it. That's not how it's going to work.
Doing it to you. Why are you doing it to me?
One, the way you grew up, it's a dangerous thing. Like, you had to grow up in where Darwinism played a part to how you got here. Survival of the fittest and eat or be eaten. Giving dominion over yourself you die doing that shit. I grew up where people were like, oh, you don't know how to, like, I can't fake corporate. I'm like, I honestly, growing up and faking could have got me killed. So I didn't know, like, it's not part of my anatomy to fake. And I'm not going to lie, it made life harder in a lot of ways. But that's why I took on the quote, be so good they can't ignore you. Fuck it, I'll just be good enough. Because I already know I'm not going to make you happy with me necessarily. I'll just be good enough. And that was your career. A lot of times you can tell, from the behind the scenes, you had to be good enough a lot of times. Because if you weren't, again, they try to feed you to somebody and you, oh shit, he won. Oh, fuck, we do have to give him this fight. It's like, but you had to be good enough because if you weren't, it wasn't your personality that was going to get it done. Tyron Woodley, we were talking about the same thing. He would win all these fights, but they didn't like the way he won. So
it's not entertaining, man. You're not putting people. So I tell this motherfucker step his game up.
I'm trying not to die, and I'm fighting these guys. I'm fighting your kill. I'm fighting Robbie Lawler. Like, I knocked him out, but I was going in there planning to throw his guy wrestling. Why would I stand up with the Ruthless One? Like, but they didn't like his fighting style. But it's like,
I get it though. It's a business.
It's entertainment. It's entertainment for sure.
Are you putting people?
But the other side of it is, like you said, you pulled the trigger when you started walking out. You're walking out half naked, to walk in a cage half naked and fight in front of 20,000 people with elbows and things, and you like it. You already have a screw loose to a certain extent. Bobby Green didn't like when I said that. You think I have a fucking screw loose? I was like, yeah. I was like, I think you're taking it as I'm saying you're crazy in a bad way.
Yeah.
But you have a screw loose. Like Navy SEALs have a screw loose. If you're a Navy SEAL, you have a screw loose when you're eating dinner with your wife. Hey, babe, get a phone call. Hold that thought. Go kill Osama bin Laden real quick. Come back and be like, mwah, how's the kids? You can do that normal. Something's fucking wrong. You're not all there. But you have to have. Sane people don't walk half naked, get into a cage, and elbow each other on purpose and like see the blood and go like this and shit. And then walk off. Then go home and like take pictures of the fan and go eat some fucking steak and like nothing.
You know, I never wanted to be a fighter. I never did. I wanted to train. And when I was 16 or 17 and my classes ran out, my sensei had a conversation because I was like, I'm going to go back to school. And I hated school, but I was like, I need my degree. And he was like, I'm telling you right now, you have a gift. I was like, I don't like this sensei. I just want to train. Let me just be a student. But he saw something. And he was like, I'm telling you, you can take this. And I did. But that walk, the whole time you're looking at people going, you're going to die. And then people like, you got this. And then people at home cheering you, people booing you. Mm-hmm. You got Dana go over there, oh, don't fuck this up, motherfucker. Mm-hmm. And then you worry about losing and embarrassing yourself.
Your next fight.
Bro, there's so much shit going on. Some people handle it better than others. I was one of those. I was like, oh, shit. Bright light. Oh,
money
fuck.
issues, if you lose.
Money issues.
All that.
Dude, there's fights where my sister almost committed suicide. Shit. Like 10 days out of my fight. And I was thinking about that. Fuck, I'm not here for my sister. I'm walking to this guy that's trying to kill me. And I broke down at the end. They're like, oh, you cried because you won, because you were losing. Like, no, motherfucker, my sister almost died.
Yeah.
So when I politely say, with all due respect to everybody, fuck everybody.
Yeah,
fuck you, dude. Like, can you do what I do? The best feeling in the world is when you walk in a room and you look around and you go, man, I can fuck everybody up in
that
this
part.
Bitch. When I do this shit with my white friends and all that, yes, my white friends. I go to these nice parties and shit. I'm like, look at these bitches. I can fuck them all up. You might have more money than me, but I know you want my
It's
dick.
the confidence.
I know you wish you had a big dick.
Yep.
Because obviously I'm going to steal your wife. And I know you wish you had that manhood that I possess. Now, nothing bad about that because there's a corporate world and all that stuff. But to me, that is a good feeling as a man to know I can defend myself.
I fucking agree. I put myself around fighters, professional fighters, and you understand how that feels to me when I'm like, fuck. Because I go to an average 7-Eleven, I'm thinking to myself, anybody here is not trained, and you got to be really trained.
Yeah.
I was like, can't, like the business scene. People tell me, shut the fuck up. I'm in these business corporate roles. I'm thinking to myself, one, like, I'd fuck your wife. Two, you would never talk to me like that outside of this suit and tie. I'd slap the shit out you. And I know they know, and that makes me feel a lot better. That I know that they would never admit it, but I know for a fact it's kind of like, like we both know what it is. And then it got weird because now I'm around you guys, and I'm like, huh. Like Ocho, he told me one day, I was like, I want to spar one day. He's like, I'll test you, and I'm like, motherfucker, don't play. I'd rather lose than for you to make me feel like a bitch. Yeah. Bobby was like, he said the same. He's like, I could fuck all you guys up in here. And I'm looking at him like, I was like, we can slap box. I was like, but I'll go to your gym one day. He's like, yeah, come to the gym. I'll see if you got some bitch in you. And I was like, I don't got a lot of rounds in me because I don't got no win. But ever make a mistake. Yeah. I'm not like, I'm with all the action. Yeah. I grew up with gang members. We fight for no reason too. We fight over stupid shit like the block. Yeah. You know, but
even that is a balance though.
The feeling is great, and but you like you say with being poor, put yourself in a room with richer people. It's a good thing. I like my manhood being tested. Like I've never gotten in a ring. I've trained a little bit, but now since I've been doing this, I told myself I will fight. By this time next year, I'll get in somebody's octagon and fight. I'm planning either one his promotion or somebody just because I have to do it. I can't keep sitting next to you guys and giving any version of opinion without doing it. I feel like a fucking farce, and I feel like it's disrespectful.
You're going to get done and you'll be like, fuck that shit. I don't ever want to do that shit again.
But I have to do it. I grew up fighting a lot. I grew up fighting a lot, just not professionally. Right? So I have to do it professionally at least once.
It's different. It's a spectacle,
Yeah, and you know.
It, like everybody's it's a spectacle.
Bro,
you realize like nobody gives a fuck.
That's the part that drives me nuts. It's not the getting punched part.
Right.
I don't give a fuck about that. I've been punched with, we grew up bare knuckles, so I've been punched and I've wrestled in some shit, but it's the 1,000 plus or whatever family. Again, when I first fight, I'm not gonna have nobody I know like there. Like
I tell my family, don't show up.
No, I don't have the time to be thinking about what you're thinking. If I get punched hard, I don't want to be thinking that, oh fuck, they saw that. I don't know if you guys think that, but I know I would.
To think what?
Like if you get hit and like your mom's in the crowd or your sister's in the crowd, like you're like, fuck, did they see what I just like?
Your son's watching.
I don't have no time to think about that. So, like, I already know. I had a couple of fighters like Tim and all that. Tim performs great in Texas. He's a fighter that's out there. He's been to Fortis a couple of times. He fights great in Texas. California, he normally has tougher fights. California, his best friends are out here, 4 people, his sister, his mom. Yeah. And he says it doesn't make a difference. I'm like, I think it does. Because when you go to Texas, nobody even knows you're out there. Your life is nothing but fighting. I know me personally, I can't have family members out there watching, especially not my first fight. I have no time. I'm already going to be thinking all this crazy shit that you're talking about, plus the embarrassment of never having done it.
That's a big thing too, the embarrassment, yeah.
And I don't remember the last time I was embarrassed about something, but that's the closest thing I can think of is that it's going to feel embarrassing if I get slept. If I lose, I feel like whatever, if I was like close. But if I get like slept, I don't know what that feeling feels like.
Well, here's the thing. For a lot of people, I have a lot of people in my DM, a lot of kids actually, which is weird. It's like, hey, I want to become a fighter. What do I need to do? Almost every kid. And I'm like, start.
Yeah.
What are the key things, or how do I handle this? I'm like, bro, it's nerve-wracking. I wish fans and reporters start training so they don't ask dumb questions. And I'm pretty sure fans will respect you more if you win or lose because they'll get it. The shit that you have to go through up here, the mental fortitude, there are fights where I'm like, I'm in the best shape. Why am I breathing so hard? That nerve takes around 30% of your energy like that. And then you worry about losing, and then you worry about underperform.
The Weidman fight all over again. The first Weidman fight.
The second Weidman fight, I was so emotional the night before. I remember crying, and my ex at the time, and I was like, I can't lose to him again. And surely enough, I went out there with no game plan. None.
Just going out to fucking fight.
And prior to that, my mom told me, she was like, I prayed for you, and I prayed that God build an armor around you. That's what she said.
You built the arm around your legs for sure.
For real. But I remember manifesting this. I think you said this earlier about that manifestation and that mindset of projecting the positive side of life.
Put the frequency out there.
Yeah, the frequency. And all I said, when I looked at him, I'm like, I'm pretty sure if I kick him hard enough, I break his leg. I said that. Yep. And God was like, Jesus, you got that? Yeah, we got it. And then when
you were a little off, he kicked you.
He kicked me, yeah.
But his leg snapped. I was there live for that. And I'm going to put on the TV when we do the edit. I'm going to put the whole scene. And shout out to him for recovering and getting back at it and doing what he's doing. Shout out to Chris. big motherfucker too. He's a big dude.
He's huge.
But
Heavy-handed, too.
his shit snapped, and it was like I told you, like cosmic karma, because the Anderson Silva fight that really would see who was really that guy. Because the first one, Anderson was doing what he was doing to everybody else. Anderson got cocky, played around like he does, but got caught. Can't take away from Weidman, but it didn't tell is he a better fighter than Anderson or not.
No,
And
Anderson needed to do that, by the way.
So-
for a lot of people who don't understand that, I said Anderson was cocky.
No,
I'm
but it's
like,
part of his fight.
But that's how you beat a guy like Chris. Chris is like tunnel vision.
Yeah.
Of course you're gonna be
You're
like,
giving
you
him-
suck,
Yeah,
bro.
no,
You're giving
You
him a
have to
look
do
that they
that.
have never. They can't emulate that look
Yeah.
in sparring.
Oh,
Who
he
the
was
fuck-
cocky. He's like,
Who the fuck is?
motherfucker, what else am I supposed to do?
Who's emulating Anderson Silva in sparring anywhere near close to what he's really going to do? Can't. He has his way. Bobby Green has his thing. It's for his mental. He knows what he has to do.
Martial arts,
Yeah, he knows what he has to do. Sometimes you got to get yourself there. Anderson knows how to get himself there. He
That
just
was the
got
hardest
caught.
fight, by the way.
He just got caught that one. And the second one would have been like, all right, let's see. And then his leg snaps. And then Whiteman goes and snaps his in similar fashion.
I guess I'm next, right? Let me.
Shit, yeah. But look, you're boxing right now, so yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I broke in a bunch of folks' legs with my kicks because karate taught me articulateness with striking. I personally really feel I'm the best striker. People are going to have their opinion, but I know striking so well. I just
Best
never
striker
had
in general
someone.
or what weight class? Because I can play devil's advocate. But in general, like in the UFC, or
I mean, when it comes to striking, I left kickboxing because I was just outclassing people. I really wanted to fight Izzy because I love his style. And I was
Izzy
like,
and
I
Wonder
get
Boy
this
are the
style.
two only I can say that I can really go back and forth. They are great strikers.
They're all right. I think Raymond Daniels would be better than that. Raymond Daniels, because I spar Raymond Daniels. And to give you I wish they recorded this. We both did the spinning kick, bro. He did a round tornado. He was like round kick, tornado kick, to fake me to throw a hook kick. But I know this shit. So he did a round tornado, and right at the end, I was going to throw my spinning hook kick, and he faked the tornado, and he threw a hook kick, and I threw my hook kick, and our legs just go like this.
So you have the
wish I had it
similar.
on film, bro.
So
It's
you
so
have the
cool.
similar of the spinning back fist versus spinning back fist of Ocho's counter to the counter, and you guys did almost similar thing,
These are
like a
my
movie.
hands.
That's why
I
they're
can use
lethal.
my legs like my hands, but when I say, I mean, I have to think that way.
Yeah, but
Someone-
you can't think anything.
What are you really good at? Give me something like you're really good at.
I can talk.
Okay, so you have to believe it in a sense that I'm the best at what I do.
I know I'm
For me to say
elite.
I'm all right, yeah, you're modest,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna lie to myself. You know what I'm saying? Again, it's
Yeah.
how you do it. So I really think my strike, because when I spar with people, I play, and they're like, "How are you so fluent?" Because I play. Bruce Lee said it the best. You have to flow.
Like
Years
water.
to figure that shit out.
Like water.
And I always wanted to test it, but I always give me like some grappler. No one wanted to stand with me, so it was hard to see it.
Yeah. I mean,
You really want to see it? Give me a striker, and I'll fucking show you.
look, I believe in it. Again, I've been a fan. I've been a fan since the beginning. So, that's that got me locked into Fortis. It wasn't, I might have known Ocho. He's like, yeah, Uriah was at the gym. So Uriah, I was at the gym. I was like, oh fuck, I gotta go stop by. I was like, I want to talk to him outside of the event, just to conversate out, because the event is different. You just got touched by 50 other people and people all in your fucking face and cheek to cheek and all this weird shit. And you might not be as open, and you can't conversate during
I'm a
Bruce
realist,
stuff,
man.
Bruce's fucking introduction. I was like, one day I'm gonna go to Fortis just because I want to run into you guys.
I'm a realist, man.
And
you'll get what you see with me. I'm not gonna lie to you. If I don't like you, I will tell you. I have the courage to be disliked.
Yeah,
I do.
I-
Because not everybody's gonna
works.
like you. Why are you trying to like everybody when you don't even? You know what I'm saying? Why are you trying to be
tell
liked
people, it's
when you don't even like everybody?
Same shit. Like, people like, I don't care what people think. Well, we do. We care what people think if it's good. Thank you. I
I am
appreciate it.
sensitive.
It's
I care what
but
people
if you
think.
don't fuck with me, okay.
Okay, bro. Cool,
Like
cool,
the
man.
airport lady, going back to that, it's like, a mask, how old you are?
I just turned 40.
Okay, I knew that. I just want to make sure you say it. So you're 40. Airport lady, you went through, let's say, learning how to shave, heartbreak, awkwardness of sex, fighting, school, Fs and grades, and all this shit without that lady's existence in life. And to let somebody in 10 minutes fuck up your day, it speaks to you, not her. People's like, how do you, because I did sales, and like, how do you take these no's, and how do you tell people rejection and racism, how you deal with the cops? I'm like, that cop's a bitch. I don't like him, and I would want to punch him, but let's not make a mistake. I'm 33 years old. I was like, I went through empty promises and no father being around bullshit. As I went through mom going through her bullshit, I went through my mom having cancer, I went through racism, I went through this, I went through that, I went through falling off my bike and skateboarding and breaking shit, all without that person even existing in my life. You're telling me that I'm gonna let that stranger fuck my whole day up? Like sometimes I relapse and they can get to you, but it's rare for somebody like me that really lets you get to me. You talk about my kid or something, and you got me. You go ahead. I'm gonna show you, but I can tell you anything.
Oh.
So, but other than that, I try to like not let somebody get to me because I lived a whole life. You're gonna be an empty face in the back of my dream tomorrow. Like you're gonna be one of those things that I'm like, whose face is that?
Yeah.
But I dream about this fucking bro. I don't know who the fuck you are. And you keep that mindset, it normally helps you stay peaceful. And I'm glad you're able not to punch that lady at the thing. And I don't condone like beating up women and all that shit. But I would
never hit a woman.
But for sure, I've been there where
me and my lady.
Nah, I for sure been there where I looked at a person. I've even told them like, I want to punch you in your fucking face. And it's not because I want to hurt a woman. As a human, one, I know I'll be doing the world a favor because now you'll have a spidey sense of last time I did that, something happened. Because you won't change because it's good for the world, but a person will stop doing something out of self-awareness. If they feel like they're going to get hurt, they might make an adjustment. So somewhere in my head, I know if I punch you in your fucking mouth, you'll treat people better.
Yeah, but even thinking that, I know it's wrong.
Yeah, and so
I insulted a guy on social media. My mom texted me. I was like,
you went too far?
This fat dude on LAX just made it hard for me and just didn't care. And I went online. I was like, Phil, you fat motherfucker. My mom was like, what the fuck are you doing? Is that how I raised you?
We relapse. Like I said, we relapse sometimes. Sometimes Mark Twain.
As I am, I'm scared of my mom.
Look, sometimes a Mark Twain quote doesn't hit. Sometimes we will go all the way down, and sometimes it's just fun to respond online.
Well, when I was younger, I can't talk too much about this. But when I was younger, it's always a fat motherfucker too. Some fat Bulgarian dude. Shout out to fat people. Some fat Bulgarian dude talked shit about my mom.
Oh man.
He said my mom is a gorilla. And I was like, oh, looking for a nigga? Nigga here.
Yeah.
And I
you found it.
I literally found him. I told him it was fight week and it was supposed to be at the MGM in Las Vegas. And I said, I'll be here for fight week. I'll be in the lobby around 2 or something.
Yeah.
And I saw him because I just had an idea. And I saw him and I was like, ready to lose my career. Ready. Walking up to him, not thinking about repercussion. You saw my mom, you know my mom had to go through. My mom had to sleep under the cellar with goats. And, I saw him and I'm clenching my fists. And what saved me was a UFC staff who kind of saw it. It was like, you're right, what's going on? And I'm like, we're just having the couch conversation. And he saw it and he was like, yeah, you guys get the fuck out of here and pull me aside and listen, man, you have so much to lose. You don't even know this motherfucker. He doesn't really know you. I get it. You're in the public eye. Fuck this, dude. Don't go down that path.
Yeah. Moms, kids are tough.
Yeah, man. It was hard for me because I was ready to kill him.
Yeah.
And he didn't even know that. So a lot of these fans who say all these negative stuff, like that. There's a video of me getting. Was that
last
dude?
interview, right?
The mumbling kid.
Yeah.
He was saying some shit like. He was just mumbling, and first of all. They were late with me going on stage to warm up. I was already irritated. I'm low on calories. I'm in fight mode. Fight week.
Yeah.
2 days to fight. And this motherfucker's trying to play around and mumble.
He's trolling you.
Yeah. So I was like,
you're in
bro.
I'm about to kill somebody mode.
Yeah. And of course, some fans were like, hey, man, you can't take a joke. Who the fuck plays with a lion when he's hungry? You fucking tease a lion when he's hungry?
You're welcome to. It just, you got to take what happens at the same time.
Yeah.
We're not saying not to. I'm just saying is, understand what you're doing with yourself and you're putting yourself at risk. Like, it's not that people will say, well, you won't do that because you'll go to jail. See, the problem is at that moment, I'm not thinking about jail. No. I might, but what happens to you when I rearrange you?
Do you think you're going to walk out of this alive?
Yeah, you understand, if it doesn't work out for him, you might do a little jail time, but you're going to look at that kid. The kid's going to look at the mirror for the rest of his life and look different. What you fighters can do, you can rearrange somebody.
They don't get it, man. They think, you can say
this is going to be here and that might be there. Like this.
I encourage these people to, you might win you're not going to win a lawsuit. I'm pretty smart with my money. But you might not be here, bro. I really don't encourage you to do that. Online, call me whatever you want, but I hope you build the courage to say to my face.
Yeah. Well,
And
obviously,
let's see what happens.
We both know they won't. Somebody commented on my video. I have a Bobby Green. He's collabed. Bobby, just this is not. I put, his address to his gym is here.
They'll never.
They do walk-ins, and
They'll
you can
never
always
do
just
it.
walk in, and we could see. Just let me know. I'll put let me know. Just nice and polite. Obviously, I think then that guy must have blocked me or something because he was disappeared the next day. It's just like politely, but like, yeah, there's a gym. You know, they have open gyms. It's not some private garage. You can pull up. Show us better, you can tell us. Show better, you can tell.
Okay, the worst thing that happened, some kid insulted me, some 15-year-old kid, said something I forgot what was very bad. And I kind of called him out on it. And he just went back and forth. So I was like, how do I get this motherfucker? So I took a screenshot and I put it on the Instagram. And I was like, look at this racist little fucking kid. And his older brother reached out to me or reposted, look at this athlete being bullied to this kid or whatever. And he was DMing me, and I was like, bro, your little asshole little brother's talking shit to a grown man. Why don't you sit your little dumbass brother down? And he was just going back and forth. You don't know me, son. I'm in California. So I was like, bro, we think I'm scared of you? He's like, you think that UFC, this is what he said, that UFC rule shit's gonna work. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, you think I'm just gonna go by the rules? Like, Herb Dean's gonna be on the side and be like, Herb, should I do this?
So you're gonna meet the guy. You're not gonna give him a 12-6.
12-6 elbow.
That's pretty much the only. You're not gonna bite or 12-6, and you're gonna lose now because you can't do those two. Okay.
Yeah. So he was like, well, I usually meet me in this area of California. So I was like, it just so happens I go to this area all the time.
All the fucking time.
So I said, tell you what, how about I go here and I post on my story, and you can pull up and hopefully bring your guys. Nigga, do you think I'm scared of you? Yeah, I might die, but nigga, you coming with me. Get the fuck out of here.
Immediately.
Bro.
If you try to jump me.
Scared of you, dude? You
like,
a regular man. I'm a real man. Fuck you.
And then you have another edge. Like, I'm from Spanish Town. Like, what?
I'm from Jamaica,
Yeah,
bro. Like,
that's
this shit we have to
I want to
do.
go to Jamaica, but the problem is I don't want to do the tourist route. I want to do the real Jamaica. The problem is I know better than to go do the real Jamaica.
I'm not going to.
I know better.
I'm from
People
Jamaica.
like, oh, you should go to Jamaica. I'm like,
I'm
see,
not doing
I don't
that
want to
shit.
go and do the resort. Like I do, but it's not the same. I want to go to Jamaica. I want to go to the yard.
I ain't doing that shit.
And I'm like, but that won't work out for me.
My English, this would go away.
Yeah, real
Hey
quick.
boy, you're so and so American. What you talk? What you talk? What y'all talk about my youth? I'd
Yeah,
have to bring
that's
it back.
That's it. You have no choice because all they're gonna see is you're a lick. Oh, okay. Let me run that watch. Run this.
Hey boy,
run
give
that.
me your money. But all my friends, unfortunately, are dead in Jamaica. I probably would have been dead too if I was there. Because I was in the ghetto.
People don't understand. You're Darwinism incarnate. They leave you the fuck alone.
And from what I've seen from the black culture, I'm just gonna say it. There's a lot of times people who've made it and they go back to help their community. What do they do? Oh, you think you're better than us? Yes, motherfucker. That's why I left.
Yeah.
And they kill them.
Weren't we all trying to get out the hood? We all tried to be rappers. We all were playing football. When we were all in high school, we were all trying to make it out. You mad because I did, and I still like fuck with y'all to a certain extent, but because I made a $2 million contract and I didn't give y'all 1.9 of it. I'm an evil person, and I didn't changed up. I don't want to make the podcast about myself, but we have so many similar topics. I have a friend, right? He's like a brother to me. We knew each other. I was gonna be part of the same gang, all this shit, but I turned it down. And he's a boxer out of Texas. I sponsor him almost fight. I pay his medicals and shit. And he reached out to me. This was 4 days ago, 9 o'clock in the morning. I didn't get to respond. I'm son's football practice, all this shit. I get home at 9 o'clock and don't give me nothing. I don't want anything for somebody who makes me feel like a kid asking for his daddy. I haven't even responded to you. This is all in your head. I love him. This is one of my homies. Okay. But he's just like, you grew up from humble beginnings too, so don't think because you got money you're better than people. I'm thinking to myself, I didn't even respond to your message. So you have these long paragraphs and I haven't said anything to you. This is all internal. I put, if I make you feel like a kid or a bum, I was like, it's something to do with yourself because I hadn't even responded to your message yet. And you somehow feel this way. I was like, yes, I did come from humble beginnings. And I was like, I didn't change up. I was like, before I had money, did you text me? I was like, you text me about 5 times a year now. I was like, and that's normally when you need something, right? You never text me to check in. I was like, so who changed if my phone only rings from all the rest of the world because I have money? I was like, I give you guys money and stay the fuck out the way. Don't post it. Don't do anything. And I was like, you're sending me along. I was like, when did you ever send me a long paragraph since we were 14 years old? I was like, have I ever sent you one? No. So who changed? But black people are the main ones that you make some money and it's like they hate you. Like I have people that won't come up and support what I got going on. Facebook, right? Facebook is for friends and family mainly. Instagram is the strangers. I post something on Instagram, I get a bunch of likes. That's the strangers. I post something on Facebook where it's friends and family. It's a bunch of views, no engagement, no comments. Because the problem with you making it and other people making it, black people making it, is we remind people where they still are. And they don't know how to deal with that. And it's like, hey, I'm not mad at you, but how dare I make money? Or how dare I get success? And they pretty much like, yeah, how dare you?
It's a mindset.
And then you get mad when I want to stay away from you.
I think it's a choice. I came from horrible beginnings, but I made a choice.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all have a choice. I really think if the African American community could come together like the fucking LGBTQ, whatever the fuck,
yeah,
we would make wonders. But no,
instead of victimizing ourselves.
And I'm sure you understand this when I say this. A lot of times when we see each other, we
size each other up.
Why are we sizing each other up?
Yep.
We pass each other, and it's one of these: who's gonna break? Or I always try to break the ice. I'm like,
yeah, do the little nod. And a lot of people are getting better at that, but the problem is we still do it way too much, especially in hoods. It's kind of like one of those. See a nigga in Jordans, you be like, a nigga probably ain't.
Why are we sizing?
Bitch ugly.
We're supposed to. White folks don't do that.
I'm a drug dealer. Everybody thinks I'm a drug dealer because of the cars I have, and I'm big black with tattoos. Either I must have played football or I'm a drug dealer. Tell people, or I just worked really, really hard. But see, we don't have examples of that. So if you ask white people who their heroes are, who their spokesperson for the white race, they'll say politicians and people, black people that are supposed to hold us up, we say athletes because we don't know anybody else. But again, I'm a quote person. Quote on the wall behind you is, success is chasing you, but your genetics are faster. And I think that
Negroes and then there's niggas.
Niggas.
I can't stand niggas.
Niggas ain't shit sometimes.
Niggas are holding us
sometimes
back.
I'm a nigga and I know I can be one. And sometimes I'm like,
getting out
nah.
of niggahood, man.
Sometimes
I'm sorry.
you see where I live on the fucking mountain out of the way. People are like, oh, you moved out of the way. Yep, you're not even gonna hit me with the, oh, I'm in the neighborhood. No, you weren't. You weren't nowhere near here. So you can't pop up on my house.
Morning, Clifford.
Yeah.
Great day, isn't it?
I got white neighbors, a fucking Trump flag, and they have Biden on the Looney Tune flag right outside, and my cousin lives in Canyon, that lake, there's a neighborhood, they're all, kind of look twice when we drive through, and hey, how's it going? He has like a bucket ass car, it doesn't matter, he's in Canyon Lake with all the white people, so it's just, hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going?
How you doing, Todd?
Yeah, how's it going? What's up,
kids
Cliff?
good?
Hey, yeah. What's up, Jerry? It's one of those, and
Jerry.
I just moved out of Long Beach.
I'm being so racist right now. White folks, I
We're
love
being
y'all.
honest.
I hope you guys can vote and buy cereal. I love everybody.
Yes,
Ocho.
100%. Yeah. We're brothers.
We're happy and we're singing and we're colored. Give me a hard spot.
Bang. Yeah. But
I
it's
love
the
everybody,
truth.
man.
It's
hey,
the
listen,
truth.
I got to say this. I'm
Talk to
racist
it.
only in my car.
Yeah, somebody cuts you off in traffic.
I am so racist in my car, but when I get out, I love everybody equally. Oh, you black, you a nigger. You white, fuck you. You're a Jew, fuck you.
Yeah.
But when I get out my car, I love everybody equally. The
I
funny
think
thing
you're not
about
the
that,
only
we're all
one.
fucking racist. Don't act like
you're not the only one. I tell people, liquor, traffic, and grocery stores, you'll find racism. Like people, like stereotypes. A Mexican lady is going to bump you with her cart. She's going to bump you with the cart. She's not going to say, excuse me. Asian people are not, they're going to bump you in an airplane. They're going to walk past you and fucking bump you. And they're not going to say shit about it. And they don't even look back. They just kind of like, you're in the way.
Have you been to China?
No. Oh, God. I want to go, but at the same time,
oh my
it's...
God. Two things could happen. If you're tall and skinny,
I'm a celebrity.
you'd be favorite. But if your complexion is a little, oh my God. Here's a funny thing. Back when I first got to Fort is, I'm online because there's a water fountain. There's like 3 or 4 people, bro. I'm like maybe 2 people next to drink. This Asian motherfucker walks up and just stands in front of me. and I did one of these because I was with my buddy, and I was like, hey, my man, the fuck you doing? His response, oh, walked to the back of the line.
You
and I
did
was
something
like,
wrong.
What the fuck? And then my buddy was like, "Oh yeah, bro, they're a little racist here." I'm like,
Oh man,
"How did you get over here?"
He gaslit you without saying anything.
And then when we got to the hotel, which is probably the best hotel in China, and I'm like, "Nah, it's not gonna happen." Treated me like shit to check in. You have to go to like the top floor to check in. And I'm like, and then this white dude came in. They were kissing his ass, and I was like, "No way!" Of course, the white dude came up to me and was like, "Big fan," and they all started looking at me different. But then when I was walking,
Well, the
around
white
in
guy
public,
validated you.
yeah, I walked around in public. They were shoving and all that stuff, and I'm like, I'm not getting in trouble here. I don't want to fucking get locked up in China.
Yeah, fuck no.
But I've heard from several Asians that, oh yeah, they're a little racist. And I'm like, no, I can't see it.
I keep trying to explain to people, white people are not the most racist in the United States. Italians and Asians are the most racist in the United States, against black people at least.
But here's the thing, though. I feel like right now, maybe it's partially our fault.
Some of the things we do not help the situation.
You've seen those videos of black folks abroad acting
Going crazy
black,
shit.
like, bro, tone that shit
But look,
down.
right there, one thing people don't know. So I'm a street kid, right? I'm not a gang member, but I'm a thug. Right? Thug is one of those people that grew up in the same area without actually being a gang member. So that's a gangster. Gangsters and thugs are different. Thug, I'm a sophisticated thug, but thug all the same. We actively, like, when black people want to rob places, we do not rob the hood. We know we don't got any money. When black people do go, we go to Asian neighborhoods. So you see what I mean? Like, Asians, one, are known for cash. Asians don't like banks. Asians are going to keep cash in their house. Asians also have the best jewelry. Filipinos and Asians, they have the 24. They actually carry 24 karat necklace. Not that 10 karat, 14 karat that we all happy about. 24 karat, most of you motherfuckers have never seen. It feels fake because in our head, we've never felt. It's like an ugly color. It's not shiny at all. It's like an ugly yellow, like weird, real gold. And it's like heavy. You think it's like fake metal. Asians are the ones that carry the most because gold in Philippines is way cheaper than what we spend here. So niggas go to Asian neighborhoods. It's our first target for niggas in the hood is Asian neighborhoods. Because why the fuck would we rob the neighborhood apartments? I know you ain't got nothing. I know you. You ain't got shit in there that I ain't got. We live in the same apartment, so we have to go to Asian neighborhoods. So you see what I mean? We do, unfortunately, help the situation when it comes to them hating us. A lot of it's not on us. It's a lot of propaganda, media, and we're just less. But some niggas are really making it harder for the other ones because now when you go to a Asian person, you have to have you better have the dress shirt on and the regular watch. Your watch can't be shiny or you're a nigga now, right?
It's part of the reason. I mean, I went to fashion school, but I have to kind of address this.
You have to clean cut. You have to do the. You have to do the whole
Who's
thing.
the guy that got shot when he was running by that father and son?
I don't remember his name, but
he was jogging.
He was jogging. They just pulled up on a shotgun and
shot him. Right?
Assassinated my
man. So when
man.
that happened, one of my good friends lives in Highland Park. I know, and I was staying there.
Full circle.
I know. This was the first time I was in Texas, though, and I was in that neighborhood. And when that happened, it was a big thing. And I usually get up at 6 a.m. to run.
Yeah.
So I got up. I'm getting ready to run, and I had to stop. And I looked at my outfit, and I was like, "Oh, I can't run in this."
Yeah, you're in joggers and a hoodie or some shit.
Yeah.
No,
so I had to go back in, put on a UFC hoodie that says UFC, a gray pants, and some bright like yellow shoes, so I can look like an athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he must be an athlete. And I was like,
the fact that you have to do that.
Way?
Yep.
I had to think that way because I didn't want people. And I was telling my friend, and he didn't really understand it. So I said, "All right, how about this? I'm pretty sure if I walk down the street with a chandelier, what do you think people are going to think? But I guarantee if you walk down the street with a chandelier, they'll come and help you."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "You want to prove it? Take out a fucking chandelier. Let's see right now."
People don't want to always know the truth because if they know the truth,
stop talking about it.
They have to judge themselves.
Stop talking about it. You still mad at that?
Because then they were blind to it. I used to have to make the choice when I used to see cops because my windows are pretty dark tint. People are like, "Oh, you roll down the window." You know, it's a real tough choice. Do I show them that I'm black, and that might get me pulled over all the same, or do I keep the window up and hope that I get pulled over for the tint? If that's a real choice, I have to fucking make. It's like, damn, which one is worse? Which one am I gonna more likely get pulled over for? I always kept the window up. I swear to you, I just took the chance of the window up. Because if they pull me over for the window, it's the window. They pull me over for me, they already coming with an agenda because I know I didn't fucking. When I see the cops, you know all blinkers are on point. So when I get pulled over, you can't say I did something.
Have you ever seen the cops and felt safe though?
Never in my life.
This might be different for you. Have you ever felt safe?
No.
Not when they're pulling me over.
But
Not
in
when
general,
they're
though.
around me. I instantly get on like P's and Q's and I sit
Yeah.
up and I feel awkward. But I've also, my first time I ever had a gun pointed to my face was a police officer. I was 15 years old, 16 years old at my high school. He's chasing some other kids and all the kids are running like to see what's going on. He turns around and whips his gun out, puts it in my face this close and says, "Don't you fucking move." I just dropped down immediately and went like this. And I was thinking to myself, after the fact, first I was like, it's my fault. You know, I'm running. We're all running to see what's going on because police pull up and the kid
don't
runs.
know.
But I'm also 15, 16 years old. You went straight to your gun? And you're at a high school. I'm not like on the street. You're at a high school. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I've had some weird interactions with cops. I told you guys, I got pulled over for driving with 2 feet. That's what they told me at least.
What does that mean?
They told me that I was driving with 2 feet, and that's why they pulled me over, because they saw my brake lights on while my car was still going forward. That's their excuse for pulling me over. I wouldn't like what?
Can you drive at 2 feet?
Not necessarily. It's like, you can kind of press at the same time if you want, but my fucking point exactly. I told him, I was like, bro, I used to leave this casino at 1 o'clock in the morning, so I'm driving 50 miles back, 1 to 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm in a Dodge Challenger, 22-inch rims, blacked out, and I'm a black man. But I'm driving. They pulled me over. They saw I was black. I saw him. I recorded the whole thing. Oh, police behind me. Let's see how long before it takes to pull me over. I'm showing my speed. I'm showing everything on the camera just to make sure. I'm like, pull me over. Yeah, we pulled you over because you're driving with 2 feet. Like, what the fuck are you talking? I was like, come on, bro.
That's funny.
I was like, look, I'm not on probation.
I would have laughed, bro.
I'm like, I'm not on probation or parole, so no, you can't search me. Well, how do you know to answer that question? I was like, it's not my first rodeo. I was like, if you're on probation or parole, for people who don't know, it means you're on fourth waiver. What fourth waiver means is you automatically waive your Fourth Amendment of search and seizure. Anybody on probation or parole can be searched immediately, no matter what. Police don't have to ask. They don't have to check. The moment they know you're on probation or parole, they can search anything and everything about you. So I just tell them, I'm not on fourth waiver. I'm on probation or parole. I'm not on fourth waiver, so no, you cannot search me. What do you need? If you think I did something, please give me a ticket. We both know you're not going to show up to the court date to defend it. So I'll just fight it. Well, you better drive safer. Okay, whatever. Pulled over.
I get it.
Pulled over, 5 cop cars deep, gang unit, on their badge, gang unit. And why did I get pulled over? Well, you had your seatbelt on, but it was under your arm. The law says it has to be over your arm. Okay, sure thing. And is that BBs that go into a BB gun, the gray silver ones? They see some in the back of my car. I'm 20 at this time. We see BBs in your car. We're gonna need to search your car for a BB gun. I said, no, you don't. I was like, because I'm 20 years old and the legal age for BB gun is 16. So even if I had a BB gun in my car, you still can't search my car for a BB gun. It's not right. Get out or we'll pull you out. My window's down. And I'm like, you're gonna have to pull me out. They actually reached in to start pulling me out. I was like, all right, I get out. Because nobody's recording, nothing's happening. I'm about to take an ass whooping for free. If I know somebody's recording, I might take the ass whooping and then, get paid. But nobody's watching me, and I'm not taking a free ass whooping, and then they're gonna arrest me and say it was my fault. So they really started pulling my car and just searched my whole fucking car because they said they saw a BB in my car. Gang unit, of course.
Listen, I get it.
It happens in real life for people, and you've been
does.
through it. I've been through it, and unfortunately, I need people to wake up to
I'm a bit
it.
too confident. I need to chill because the last time some dude was like, I can't believe I said this. He was like, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" And I was like, "Why? Did you forget?" He's like, "What? Did you forget why you? What kind of dumbass question is that?" And he's like, "Listen here, son." I'm like, "No, you listen, bro. I get it. I know what you're trying to do. Nice neighborhood, fit description. Come on, just save this man. Give me my ticket or whatever, or just come up with something." And I was like, "By the way, my brother's a sergeant, so I know how this works. Demeanor change.
Yeah.
Oh, your brother's a sergeant. Huh? But here's the thing. I get it. I don't want to play the victim card because I know some people out there are gonna be watching this. Like,
Some
just
people
comply.
make it hard for us though too.
Right. Totally get it. But my thing is, I have to get to the root of a problem. So when I hear situations of people saying, my experience, I go, well, why do police officers think like that? And I see why the bad folks are doing stuff to make them think that way. Because it's the same thing, right? You see a cop doing something bad, you're going to naturally think, all cops are like that.
You see, I'm actually different, so I'm glad we brought this up.
So most people will think a negative. Back in the day when September 11 happened, I see one of them turban people, I'm like, oh shit. I get nervous because it's how it's plagued in my mind.
Yeah.
But once
They sold us
started to
something.
step back a little bit credit to psychology of just understanding things. I learned to pause. And I just kind of sit with myself a little bit and understand why my mind works that way.
Yeah.
It's my biggest goal in life, man, to just become the best version of myself.
It's good.
And just chill the fuck out. And like I said, learn to shut the fuck up.
To make
One of the
this
best advice I ever gotten from one of my mentors, he
Shut the
said,
fuck up.
you don't always have to be right. The moment I heard that, my ego went, shit, it's time to leave.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be right. You know what? You're
That's
right.
money.
7 and 7 is 34. Got it. You don't have to be, man. Save yourself to fight.
It's great. So to make it clear, I don't believe that there's bad police. I think there's bad people, and some of them have a badge. I've seen some people that are dicks because they're rich. You give a dick a lot of money or you give a dick power, they're gonna just be a bigger dick. I don't say fuck all the police. Police are the most thankless job in the world, and I kind of understand why they're kind of that way. It's like a brotherhood. Right? If fire department's considered sexy, military has Veterans Day, right? You got all this shit, and then police are just out here. They're day to day, and nobody gives them love. They get criticized all the time. Then they have a brotherhood. Okay, we'll protect ourselves.
Well, you don't have a song called "Fuck the Fire Department."
Yeah. So exactly, and so if I was a police officer and we have our unit and we have our department, but one of our guys fuck up, we might have known he fucked up, but they protect himself because nobody else is going to do it.
There's no
But
repercussion, though.
We give police holidays. We should give police an actual police holiday and show them love. Do a parade once a year for police officers. Let them know that, hey, we all do care about you. Because the biggest thing we hate, like when somebody gets shot when their hands down and it was clear, or the lady got shot in her house while she was asleep, you can't, I get you have to defend each other, but that one you have to, he's wrong. That guy, you're wrong. So as a police
the lady
department.
got shot in the face.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Well, there's the one that got shot when she was sleeping. There's one that got shot recently.
I know her.
The one recently just got shot for boiling water or some shit.
Yeah, but that dude,
in her house.
you know, he came in with the intention.
You
I
could tell.
hope you make it out of this, because I will personally.
We'll all find you.
We'll all find you, bro.
Yeah, prison's too
I
good for
will
you.
find you. I
Prison's
will.
too good for you.
Prison's way too good for you.
You know what we're talking about.
You know what you're talking about.
But the thing is, condemn that guy. When he does something like that, when the 15-year-old kid gets shot with his hands up, walking the opposite way, you weren't in fear for your life. I get there's a brotherhood, but if the police department is like, no, he is wrong, we would stop saying fuck the police as much. But when you defend something that's blatantly wrong, then it's fuck all you guys.
And it's a system too. There's a guy that literally went in there and wrote the system.
Well, the black guy was known to be a thug. That has nothing to do with what we're going on today. I don't care what he did a year ago or what his high school grades were. Why are we talking about the victim? The kid that got shot, you were on the media talking about the bad things about him. That's not the conversation. The conversation was he was walking away with his hands up, the opposite direction, and you shot him. There's no excuse for that. Trayvon Martin and all the whole shit. Hey, just accountability. If you hold accountability, it'll give us a lot more reasons to not hate you as a whole. And because what we're doing to black people, what they do to us, they see a dude a do-rag and they assume he's a gangster. Well, for white people, we wear do-rags because it's a hair thing for us. The problem is a black guy that wears a do-rag that's a gangster, he still has the same hair. So he's wearing a do-rag because it's for his hair, and then there's a regular black guy wearing it because his hair. You met a gangster, and then you associate the look with all black people. Well, black people do the same thing. We have one bad cop, and now all of a sudden all of them are bad. We have to stop doing that shit.
Most of this is in this country, though, by the way.
This is our country thing, for sure.
When I travel...
Western civilization thing is...
First of all, the food I didn't talk about.
Oh, God. We know.
I was in Europe for 2 weeks.
Our food is illegal in most countries.
Yeah, how was that?
First of all, I went to France. I went to France, Paris, and Italy, and the most amazing food I've ever had. Lost weight. Came back to the States, gained weight in a day.
Yeah.
And I said this
Saw the chemicals
online, and someone was like, "Well, just go back then." And I'm like, "I'm working on it. Believe it or not, I really am." Because I forgot who made the joke. He was like, America's like the uncle who put you in college, but he molested you. You just became a citizen. He's like, you became a citizen. I didn't feel proud. Shouldn't I feel proud?
Should, yeah.
And it's like
our trajectory is not only up and up right now.
But usually when someone doesn't agree with you, go back to where you came from. Nigga, it's called United States. First of all, it's stolen. Let's not really talk about that.
This
But it's
whole
called
conversation.
United States. Back in the day, America was great.
Yep. We're trending. We were trending towards the right direction.
think.
Look, I don't know about being great, but it had its
It was
pockets.
all right. I
Look,
might have to retract that.
Yeah,
It was all
good.
right.
we had its pockets of greatness.
There
Right
you go.
now, I can't think of a pocket of greatness
Can't
at
think.
all.
I can't.
So
can't.
we're trending in the
And look at
wrong
the
direction.
candidates. Who do we have? Tweedledee and Tweedledum. We got some
Both,
dumb bitch
always.
who's not clear. We got some orange fuck that's
Yeah.
kind of for some people. It's like, fuck, who do I vote for? You got a dumbass.
He's
and
good
another
for this
dumbass.
reason and something bad for others. She's
I don't
just
know
not
what the
good.
fuck she's talking about.
She
I
sounds
don't
like
know.
she has no business doing it.
Yeah.
So it's like, well,
she
shit.
has no business.
At
But with
this
him,
point,
I'm like,
it's vote for lesser of two evils, but it's a vote. At this point, again, I'll say it out loud. If I'm voting, I have to vote for Trump. One, you weren't even in the race 3 months ago until like 3 weeks ago. So to that. Two,
I vote nobody
like,
for president. I think
yeah.
America needs to take
Maybe
a
we start
break.
voting independence again.
We need to take
Fuck
a
these two
break and
parties.
sit with ourselves for the dumb shit we've been doing.
Do a purge. Fuck it. See if it works.
And what Trump is doing, here's the thing with Trump, though. He kind of has an advantage to win. The fucked up thing is he's just influencing these dumb motherfuckers.
The tiki torch motherfuckers.
The racist fucks. I mean, some of the shit I'm like,
It's
all right,
your
he's got a
buddies. We're
point.
talking about you,
My
Ocho, your
buddies,
buddies.
my buddy.
I'm like, he's got a point because when I look at it from a business standpoint, I'm looking at, you know what?
Yeah.
If he's gonna put money in my pocket, which let's face it, America's not a country, it's a business.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, but then he's bringing out these idiots who are like,
He doesn't
"Come on."
tell them to do something, but he doesn't condemn it, which is the same thing as signing off on it.
It's the racist fucks that he's influences. You know?
So, but one thing that did happen during Trump's one thing that happened during Trump's presidency was he allowed it. It almost hurt racism because people were so out loud racist during his administration that those behind the scene people that would try to stay neutral couldn't stay neutral no more. It's like, hey, you got to pick a side. Drew Brees, like you've seen this shit, but normally you'll stay quiet. But now you got to pick a side. You've seen this person get shot while jogging. Is it wrong or is it not? There's no more, hey, I stay out of it. You have to say it. So then you got the Robert De Niro's, the Drew Breeses, these people like saying, nah, fuck this. Racism is bad. And black people can't fix racism. White people have to stand up.
I feel like white folks, you have the power to stop racism.
Yeah, but they have to accept it that it's
But
it's
you gotta,
in a whole.
and stop saying you don't see color. Yes, you do, motherfucker.
That was so
You do.
long ago.
Enough
Switch
with the, I
places.
don't
Would you
see
switch
color.
places with the way we live now? No, then you know something's wrong.
Remember when the white folks back in the day were standing up? That, I hate to say it, black folks, we kind of suck at this. We need your help, white people. We do.
Yeah.
The real ones, of course, not you asshole, cocksucking, racist prick. You can die slowly.
Yeah,
But
of
the
course.
real ones. We need you, motherfucker. We can't do it alone. We really can't. We suck right now, black folks.
Yeah.
But the white ones, y'all know what I'm talking about. I think they can really stand
The
up.
white
towards
people
this
wrote
bullshit.
the book. Again, we only can influence
need you,
a
white
chapter,
folks.
but they
I
have
need
to
you,
write
bro.
the chapter.
I got you, bro.
Yeah.
We gotta flex our muscles.
Your arm looks small right now.
I know.
Next is.
Yes, it
All
is.
right, we can get into the segments. Let's get into lighter topics. We're going to get into Sip Happens by Gelato, Pure Water, Drink Gelato. The way it's going to work is I'm going to give you a series of questions, brain teasers.
Okay.
People normally get better as they go on because you start figuring them out. If you get it wrong, you take a sip, you say gelato, and we're going to go. If everyone you get right, I'm going to donate $100 to a charity of your choice, to your personal pockets, to your girlfriend's dinner tonight, however you want to
I'll
spend
take
it.
personal pockets
So personal pockets works.
because I live in
So,
America.
There we go. It's gas money. When you have a Porsche, so that $100 is literally going to get you from here to LA.
Oh,
That's
shit,
it.
it is.
So you better get a few right.
And some meals.
So, Sip Happens by Gelato, Pure Water, Drink Gelato. Let's get into it. That one. So let's get into it. Let's get
go.
into it. Let me try. All right, this is a 1-star as what I have it. So this one is what I consider the easy one.
Okay.
All right, Uriah Hall, Wolf of Westcoast, Ocho Peterson, Sip Happens. Christina has 5 daughters. Each of their daughters have a brother. How many kids does Christina have?
Christina has 5 daughters.
Each of her daughters have a brother. How many children does Christina have? Tick, 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 tick.
Christina has 5 daughters. Each of her daughters have a brother. You would think it's 10.
Put a timer on. Let's go, let's go.
What's the question? How many what?
How many kids does Christina have?
10. Fuck this up.
Take a sip. The answer is 6. They're all sisters. They only have one brother. But it's all their brother.
Each of them have
Oh,
a
got
brother.
it. Got
There
it.
you go. See? You work on it. I give you an easy one to warm up.
Yeah, that was easy.
That's the easier one.
Do you have it pulled up?
Yeah, I got it.
Pull up. Ask one. Let's ask one.
Shit.
All right.
Failed this one.
When I was 4, my sister was half my age. I'm now 64. How old is my sister?
Bro, y'all giving me math. Sucking. I failed math.
That's
All right,
why
do it
we're-
again. Go ahead.
So when I was 4, my sister was half my age. I'm now 64. How old is my sister?
I don't know.
I mean,
The answer
was-
is 62. She was only 2 years younger than you
she
originally.
was half an age.
Thank God it's
Yeah.
not alcohol.
Hey, gelato does have tequila, but we're doing the water for now because not everybody can do tequila. Some of the fighters are sponsored by Jose Cuervo and shit, so we can't necessarily do tequila.
How did I fuck that up? You know I'm thinking too much. All right, go. Let's go.
All right, let me see. I'm trying to give you an easier one.
No, give me.
All right, this one. So there's a father and son on a road trip driving down the road. Within an hour of the road trip, they get into a major car accident. Father passes away. Son is rushed to the hospital, and as he's going into surgery, the surgeon comes in and says, "I cannot operate on this kid. That's my son." How is that possible? Got him, coach. Got him.
The father and the kid are going down the street. The father dies.
Father dies. Kids rush to the hospital. And the surgeon walks in and says, "I cannot operate on this kid. That's my son."
It was funny. I heard this before.
How does that work out?
I don't know. Fuck this.
Take a sip, gelato. It shows our sexism. The surgeon's his mom. We don't even put surgeon and female together most of the time. That's crazy, right?
My sister's
We
a
definitely.
doctor, too.
That's. Oh my God, sisters can be on your
Sorry,
ass.
sis.
All right, Ocho, go ahead.
What 5-letter word becomes shorter when you add 2 letters to it?
What 5-letter word becomes shorter?
When you add 2 letters to it.
I don't
It's-
know.
The word short. The word's short. Yeah, come
My
on. man.
defense is I just came back. From a
Yeah, he's
2-week
jet
trip.
lagged.
I'm jet lagged still.
He's like, you can't go from cops and racism to trick questions.
Yeah, how the fuck you go from racism to my daughter was in the hospital? Oh my god! All right.
All right, last one. This is a more of a longer one, and this is for
God.
everybody in the room.
Fuck.
So let's see if you can get this right too, Ocho. All right, a girl walks into her Starbucks and orders a milk tea and sits down and starts working on her laptop. She decides she wants to go to the bathroom. She goes to the bathroom. She comes back, and her laptop says error. It's a little wet, and the milk tea is out of the cup, and it's gone. So she goes up to complain. Store manager comes out, and it's like, what happened? I think somebody spilled my milk tea. My laptop's broken. Somebody needs to take care of this. Store manager brings his 3 employees at the time up front to figure out who's the culprit. He brings out the cashier. He brings out the supervisor. He brings out the barista. He asks the cashier, what's going on? Cashier's like, I was actually in the bathroom myself in the men's restroom, so it couldn't have been me. All right, whatever. Supervisor's like, I'm so sorry you spilled your milk tea. I can refund you if need be. And then the barista's like, I can remake your milk tea until the police get here, but that's the most I can do for you. Immediately, the store manager knew who was at fault. How?
Nigga, did you make this up?
Nah.
Because it was the store manager.
Huh?
Because it was him.
No. No, almost. I would say close. What do we got? Producer? Somebody else? Anybody got an answer for this?
Man, that was too long.
Take a fucking sip. Take a sip. Take a sip. Both of you guys take a sip.
Damn. I can't wait to
I
hear
want
the
you to
answer for this
think.
one.
Store manager knew who it was because only the cashier who took the order and the barista should have known her order was a milk tea. The supervisor would have not known she ordered a milk tea unless he had seen the drink or spilled the drink. Supervisor, whatever he's doing, he didn't make the order. The barista made the order. He can say she had a milk tea. The cashier took the order. He can say she has a milk tea. How the fuck did the supervisor know she had a milk tea in the first place? So, long question. So, Sip Happens by Gelato. I have so many more of these, but Sip Happens by Gelato. Drink Gelato. Uriah Hall is fucking awful. He's just as bad as Brandon Moreno.
I do real questions, but
He's like, ask me about something.
yeah, ask me about a fight.
He's asking me about a Kimura. I give you the fucking details. But while we have a little bit of time, I'm going to try to jump into our other segment, Watch or Pass by Gadali Timepieces, Luxury Timepieces. The way the segment works, I'm going to give you two options. You got to watch one, you got to pass one. Forever hold your peace. You will never be able to watch it in your life ever again. So first one, we're going to go Bruce Buffer and Frank Trigg's elevator fight, to be able to watch that live, or we let Vanderlei and Chael Sonnen fight without the crowd during the tough season. Which one would you have rather saw? Behind the scenes, Vanderlei and Chael Sonnen just going at it for real, or Bruce Buffer and Frank Trigg? I think this is the easier one.
Chael and Randall.
Really? Yeah. I would have went Bruce Buffer. To see Bruce Buffer throw hands in an elevator for like 3, 4, 5 stories would have been fucking fun as shit.
I mean, Bruce is cool. I know him personally, but I want to see real fights. The fuck am I watching somebody I don't know how to fight for?
I would love to see Bruce. I don't know. But see, I'm a big Vanderlei fan. I talked about it earlier. And so Chael and Vanderlei really going at it, like right there outside the ring, nobody jumping in. It would be a spectacle for the fucking world, too.
I'm saying. That's what I want to see. Bruce, cool.
Yeah. By the way, whoever, like whatever hotel that was, you should be ashamed for not releasing that tape of Bruce Buffer. Like, everything's recorded at one of these Vegas hotels or wherever they were at. Yeah. Who let that slide where you guys didn't put that out in the ether?
Bruce knows Dana. Dana has money.
Yeah.
I get that.
It sounds like Bruce didn't do. I mean, they said he held his own, but I think if he held his own that well, the tape would have been out.
First of all, I think Bruce would be intimidated. Can you imagine going up against Bruce? You want to do this? It's not gonna happen. Like,
Bruce. All right, Ocho, what would be yours for that one?
Yeah, probably the same. I mean, I don't want to see Bruce get his ass kicked.
I was gonna say hurt, but okay.
Hurt. The story was he held his own, but you never know. Frank was a fucking rock too.
Yeah,
probably juiced
Frank
out guy.
Trigg's a little
A little weird juiced out guy. I don't know him to talk bad about him, but from the outside, I don't feel like it's a fight Bruce is winning if it goes too long. Maybe in the elevator for a couple floors, you hold your own.
Frank Trigg, if you could take him down and murder him.
That's it. Yeah. All right, next question. Watch or pass? Jake Paul's first UFC match, or Poatan and John Jones?
Who?
Poatan, Alex Pereira.
With John Jones?
Yeah. You gotta pass one up. I would love to see Jake Paul go in there for the first time and really get ran through by whoever the hell he goes in. He's a good boxer. He has a power. He has a napalm in his right hand. Good, happy for him. He trains hard, but MMA is different, and he keeps trolling like he can do it. And no, absolutely not. He can go against a 135er, and they're gonna whoop his ass in MMA, in my opinion. But again, I'm not a fighter. What the fuck do I know? Like I told you. But
I would like to see that too. I would like to
Jake Paul or Poatan and John Jones would be a hell of a fight too.
Yeah, but I would like to see. I mean, I told him I would fight him for free. I said, "You can take the money and give it to your charity. I'll fight you for free."
You're not old enough yet. You got about 4 more years.
But he don't know I'm black athletic though. He thinks, I go backwards. But
He'll watch your old tape and be like, "Yeah, no."
I'll even fake it too. There was one of my fights where I was slowing down. My coach was like, "Act like you don't know what you're doing." Oh yeah.
Old school drunken fist
I
master.
can't say the fight, but there was a fight I had to be dumb.
It works. So what about you? So he's choosing Jake Paul. What about you?
Yeah, I'm going with Alex Poatan and John Jones. I think that's a banger. Yeah.
You have to think. The biggest thing is if the only thing you can know about it is somebody telling you a story about it. I feel like telling me a story about Alex and John Jones wouldn't necessarily do it justice. And like Jake Paul almost can imagine what's going to happen. I still want to see it for my gut wouldn't see it. Yeah. But we can almost put together what would happen. If they say John Jones and Poatan had like a 3-round banger, the thought of missing that, or say John Jones gets hooked by that same check hook and actually gets slept, somebody explaining it to me, I don't think would be justice for me.
No, you'd have to
I want to see Jake Paul get beat on the ground too.
I just want him to pass me so I can just put him down as he's going down. because they say don't kick a man when he's out.
Yeah. So next one, GSP and Habib, or your favorite sports team winning the championship this year.
GSP, I don't have a favorite sports team.
I figured that's your answer. It's like Jalen Turner. He doesn't
You
do
know
shit.
what I watch? I watch figure skating.
Oh, shit.
You know why, ladies and gentlemen? Because I like art, and it's very articulate. You can't fuck up in figure skating. That's why I like figure skating.
He's definitely far from Spanish Town. He's made it.
I'm in English Town.
Yeah. What is that, Holland Park, whatever?
Yeah, I'm in Highland Park.
Yeah, he's changed up. What about you? You watch sports?
A little bit. I don't know. My favorite sports team is like
You've been that state of Cowboys,
Fortis.
bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like Fortis.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you
So
guys
I'm
are
gonna
lame.
go-
You guys
I'm
are
gonna
not a
go
sports
with the
team. That's
fight.
not a good fucking question.
No, GSP and Khabib.
It's as big as I'm a Charger fan. I think I still choose the Chargers because I just grew up, on Charger bolts, and I don't really care for LA Chargers because it's LA and I'm from San Diego. But like GSP and Habib, somebody trying to explain what happened that to me is tough. I don't know if that's going to do any
They
justice
were
for
grappling, right? And then one wrestled the other, and the other guy did this wrestling.
me. Yeah, like if it was domination, so I think I'm choosing my sports team, but I actually watch sports. So
that
for
would
you, all right, Ocho, for you, your son's graduation. You have one son. He's a beautiful kid, smart kid, great kid. His high school graduation, or you get a title match in the UFC. He's just your kid.
I'm taking that title fight. You know what I'm saying? Like
man, he
I
wants us to
love
lay on
you,
you,
boy.
too.
I love
Look
you,
in the camera and tell him that.
Keeson. I love you, man. But you're skipping your graduation. We'll go back and you can just like
Just a piece of paper.
we can just hold you back. You'll go again next year.
All right. See if it make it a little harder. Your son's debut in the UFC or your title match. You're in his corner, so how you gonna let him
Oh
fight
no,
around?
it's my kid's debut. That's
Kid's
his,
debut.
that's his future. The graduation's like it's
Yeah,
just,
graduation.
It's
Man,
just
fuck the
it's
kids.
it's a pat on the back, man.
That's funny.
I didn't even
Okay.
want to go to my own graduation. It's fucking lame.
That's funny. Yeah, I didn't graduate. I got kicked out 2 months before. 2 months before high school, they kicked me out for the thing I didn't do. I just called it karma for shit, something I got away with. I had to tell myself something because if not, I would have burned the fucking school down. You let me go 4 years and like 10 minutes before, 2 months before graduation, you kick me out. And when you're 18, they don't have to place you in another school. They can expel you outright. And the guy told me to my face he was kicking me out for nothing. To my face. And smiled about it. Like this, like an evil smile. I was like, you serious? I was like, it's gonna fuck my whole life up. Like it could. And he was like, too bad. I looked at my high school basketball coach. He's standing. I was like, Coach, you say something. Somebody say something. He looked at me like, nigga, what am I supposed to do? I'm a basketball coach. And they're like, you can appeal. And I was like, okay. How long does it take? They said about 5 weeks. I was like, when I come back, I'll have all Fs. They're like, yeah, and you wouldn't graduate anyway. They told me later on, some of the teachers that I know as adults, it wasn't an accident. He knew what he was doing. He planned it, waited for moments, and I just, for whatever reason, I threw him the dominion. I didn't give him dominion. And I was not a good kid, but I wasn't a bad kid. Uriah Hall, try to make it fast. Who are your GOATs of MMA? You can go by skill set or you can go your favorites, but who are your GOATs? You got 2 minutes.
My GOATs are Anderson Silva. I think is probably one of the all-time greats. Demetrius Johnson.
Thank you.
I think he's
Thank you.
Best.
not getting enough respect as he should. He's
If he was
legend.
6'2", he wouldn't be arguing. Wouldn't argue.
But
He would be the
still,
GOAT.
he's just a legend to me. John Jones, of course, just he's been on top for so long. So you just have to give him. He's like a default one of the
Yeah.
greats. And my mom.
And your mom?
because She's just an incredible human being. She taught me a lot.
Shout out
She's
to
the reason
mom.
why I'm here.
Shout out to mom. You're one of the GOATs, made one of the next GOATs and a Hall of Famer. So shout out to mom. And if we have time, you guys are a lot of people's hero. Your son's hero, young fighters, Fortis people, you're their hero. Who's your hero? Obviously, I'm guessing your mother. Just if whatever answer, we probably got
I
like
would say
45
myself.
seconds.
I've
Good answer.
been through so much, and to still be here, I look at myself as a hero. And people call me legend. I feel like I'm not because I'm my own critic, but I feel like I'm the hero in my own story. And who can I influence or inspire?
Good shit. What about you, man? Who's your hero?
My
Safe?
pops, my dad, because he's he made me who I am today. You know, gave me all those P's and Q's. I look up to him, like what he went through, and just being the man he is that helped me go through the shit that I went through, and just followed his footsteps. And yeah, my pops.
Well, appreciate you guys for being here. You guys are a lot of people's favorite people, and you guys are better people than you are even fighters, and you guys are good fighters. So I appreciate you guys coming out, and let's wrap this shit up. Thank you guys very much. And you owe me some money.
Take 42.
I do appreciate you.
Stay in school, don't do the drug, kids.